Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the Rugby Championship 2024. It has been long awaited. Ever since the July internationals, everyone has been stoked to see this competition come back, where the four best sides, in the Southern Hemisphere do go. Head-to-head, this first contest, it will be Australia taking on the South Africans, followed closely by New Zealand versus Argentina. So at the end of today, someone will be sitting top of the table, and the rest of the sides will be chasing. But looking through at the starting lineup, first of all, for the Australians, they've gone with quite a young side, on average about 4 years younger than the South African starting lineup. Isaac Kailea at number 1, Matt Fazer at 2, and Alan Alaratoa will be slotting in as the number 3. When we look through at the locking duo, it is based off form in Super Rugby Pacific, Nick Frost, as well as Lukan Salakai-Lotto, two men who have that ability of stealing the ball, but they also are going head-to-head with Eben Etzebeth and RG Snyman, so it will be very, very closely contested, I would say, when it comes to the lineouts. Rob Ballatini at 6 with Carlo Tazzano on debut as the number 7. That man does absolutely brilliantly throughout Super Rugby Pacific. His tackling numbers are insane. He's going face-to-face with Peter Steph for this match. Harry Wilson will be at the number 8. He was injured for a majority of the season for the Reds, although did start his season on a high. So I hope he can continue that for this international contest. Jake Gordon and Noah Lolesio will be the 9-10 combination with Hunter Paisami and Len Ikitau in the midfield. Filippo Dangunu, he got red carded up against the Georgians, but he is still available to play in this matchup. Andrew Callaway out on the right wing, and then at number 15, it is Tom Wright. But that is the starting lineup for the Australians. Looking through at South Africa's side for this contest, there will be Oxnechat in the front row alongside Bongi Mbanambi and Franz Malharba. When you look through at the experience that the Springboks side has, you could look at any 3 positions or any 2 positions, and there are at least a couple guys with those 40-plus caps. Bongi Mbanambi, he is very good in that starting lineup, and then having Malcolm Marx for impact off the bench could be the game changer for the South Africans later on in this match. Eben Etzebeth and RG Snyman, he is in there due to Franco Mostert's injury, so it will be Etzebeth and Snyman starting. Sia Khaleesi with Peter Steph and Elric Lowe. He is a phenomenal player for the Bulls in the URC. He has been talked about it a lot in terms of when he's going to get to make that opportunity or kind of have that opportunity come to life, and this Australian series is exactly when Elric Lowe will get that opportunity. Kobus Reinach and Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu as the 19 combo, Damien de Lende and Jesse Krill in the midfield alongside Kutli Arunsa, Cheslin Colby and Villy LaRue at number 15. But looking through at the comments, we have got perfect timing, just got back from the supermarket, says Bads Ablaze, and of course, it's actually a nice time for this game to start here in New Zealand, not so much in South Africa. I believe you're looking at a 6:45 or so AM kickoff for you guys in South Africa, so very much appreciated if anyone from South Africa has already popped in. Morning, Hamish, or night, whatever crazy time it is for you, says Anthony. Believe it or not, it's a good time for us here in New Zealand. We've got a 4:30 or 4:45 PM kickoff, which is almost unheard of. Normally we end up having the 7:05 and then a little bit later on with the next contest. But now the timing's great for this Rugby Championship, at least for the first 2 legs. Then when it heads to South Africa and Argentina, that's when the times start to get a little bit worse. Morning, bro, 5:49, and I'm really tired and up early on a Saturday to listen in, says Caitlin. Welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. Hope you're excited for this matchup. A nice early rise for you guys. In SA, we have got South Africa 33, Australia 18, with both teams being a bit rusty and making mistakes, says SS. I feel like that's a fair assessment because both of these sides, like, as good as they can play, they have still had a few errors every once in a while throughout their first few matches. We saw South Africa get themselves 3 out of their 4 wins. Australia, they are, believe it or not, on a 3-match winning streak, which I think is the longest. There was some stat that I saw, but it says something about the fact that Australia have got the longest streak of some sort. I can't even remember what it was, though, because unfortunately for them, it could come to an end. And in this contest, okay, so Australia is basically waking up the South Africans early as an advantage, says Irvin. I guess so. Maybe it's the... Yeah, I don't really know why we've got an early game, to be honest. It's this game on Sky Sport. It is on Sky Sport Select, I believe, here in New Zealand. It's Sasha time, says Leon. And yeah, a lot of people excited to see what that man can do at number 10. Normally, it's either Pollard or it is Mani Lebok. In this case, it is Sasha Feinberg. Ngome Zulu, I feel like he's going to go very well. And I do hope that he has a phenomenal game, because I just don't know whether Pollard at the moment for the Springboks is actually the way forward. He's a great player. He can get the kicks over. But when you're looking at the attacking style that some of these young South African players are able to play like as they make their way towards, that next World Cup, I feel like you definitely want those younger players getting that opportunity. We'll also be watching Waikato versus Bay of Plenty men's. Waikato women won their game against Bay of Plenty women. And cool, thanks, man, says Atkins. No worries at all. And we have got South Africa by 30 plus. Joke this. Says Bev Stars and hi all. Hope everyone had a good day/night and enjoy the rugby. Hoping for a good game. Says Pads Ablaze and Morning Hamish all night. And hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well. I actually managed to get sleep before this game, so that's quite fun. Do you have any idea how early it is here in Pretoria? I think you guys are sitting probably about 5:50 a.m. at the moment, more than likely, Albert. So not quite the best time zone for this match. I honestly have no idea why they've got the early game, though. Like, it just makes sense that next week they are going with the normal time. This week, they're just doing it early for the sake of it, I guess. It was a public holiday yesterday. South Africans stayed up and are making braai broodjes, which I have absolutely butchered the naming of, I assume, from the leftovers. Was I at all close, Caitlin, with that second word? Broodjes? I don't know. If Brian Abana, Dan Carter, and Aaron Smith all came back to play in the same body, you would have Sasha. Says Leon and we farmers. Been up since 4 a.m. This suits us fine. Go the Bok. Says Frederick there. And I know South Africa have got quite a lot of support heading into this contest. Not the best record in Australia, but that does not mean that they won't be able to get themselves a victory here. What do you rate our performance in the Olympics? From what I've seen, we've gone all right. There's a few medals that maybe slipped away a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's just sport, isn't it? Can't wait to see Sasha doing his thing. And there is a lot of pressure on that man, which is why I hope he is able to perform to the level that a lot of people are expecting. Because if he can perform, say, broad keys, I know you sounded adorable trying. It was probably miles off if it's broad keys. Or is that brood keys, actually? I don't know why I said broad, because that's not how you spell broad, is it? So brood keys, better than all right. Says that bad's ablaze. I hope the Wallabies can prove rebuilding is going well. But that's the thing. Even if they don't win this game, or in fact either of the games up against South Africa, yes, it would be a step in the wrong direction for the Wallabies, but at the same time, they are still rebuilding, and it's going to take time. You have to make sure you've had a few more games than just a couple in a July international to then be able to beat the reigning world champions, if that makes sense. There is a chance that they could pull it off. They've got a great record in Australia up against the Springboks. Do you remember me, says Lav? I do indeed. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we've actually streamed, now that I think about it. I think the last time we streamed would have been probably the Women's Olympics, which was a while ago. Like a week and a half, maybe. I don't even know what day it is at the moment. I'm still catching up. We are doing great. 6 gold, 7 silvers. For a small country. Says Badza. Australia is using the same socks we use. Says Irvin. And does Australia have the tool shed on tonight? I don't think so. I just checked. No, they got Dylan Peach off the bench for this contest. So no Corey Toole as of yet. I think he might actually... Is he injured at the moment? I know that Marika Korombetti, I think, has a bit of an injury as of now. But I think he'll be back within the Rugby Championship. I don't think they've got Taniela Tupou due to an injury as well here. So it's a bit unfortunate for the Australians that they don't have some of those players that, of course, you would want to have going head-to-head with South Africa. But South Africa, their side, it's stacked. Even without Mostert there, even without Kane and Moody, you still got a phenomenal team taken to the field here at Suncorp Stadium. It's going to be a good one. Australia is using the same socks and Moody is back playing for the Bulls, says Irvin. That is true, isn't it? Now that I think about it. He's back because it was his finger. No. So who had the finger injury? Was it Moody? He had his poor finger. And then Barrett at the moment's also got a finger. Everyone's fingers are giving out. Luckily, my fingers, I think they're all right. That sounded like it was going in a weird direction, so we'll just shy away from that. I want Oz to do well, but Head says they're going to get overpowered by the box forwards, says Johnny. And you're looking at this front row for Australia. They've got Isaac Kailea, Matt Faisler, Alan Alatoa. Now, on paper, when you're going head-to-head with Oxnard, Bungi Omanambi, Franz Malharba, it seems very one-sided. But I believe somewhere that the Australians can really try and be competitive is going to be in the line-out, because South Africa's line-out, as smooth as it has been at times, there's still a few times that it's gone a little bit pear-shaped, so you've got to put that pressure on, I would say, and if you are able to get a couple line-out steals along the way, it could be very handy, because I don't think scrums are going to go too well for Australia. That sounds harsh, but I think that's fair. Just got out of prison to watch this game. Did you break out or did you get released? Seems very generous, whatever prison you're at, that they're like, hey, go and watch the Box versus Australia, then just come back in 2 hours and we'll be all good. We'll just check you back in. It's a very generous one. Champagne Lord, will you do any live streams of the NPC Rugby? I would like to. Hopefully at some stage we will be able to. Not for this first week though, just because copyright and stuff, you don't want to risk getting a copyright strike for that and then not being able to do the internationals. Australia rebuilding. They haven't won a Bledisloe in 2 decades or a Super Rugby title since 2011. They're awful, says High Life. Yeah, although they've got a new coach and they're on a 3-match winning streak at the moment. So that is quite nice that they've got the chance of being able to right some of those wrongs, because, like you said, Australia have not been strong for a long time, but maybe Joe Schmidt, we saw what he did for Ireland, we saw what he did for New Zealand. Can he do the same for the Wallabies? There's some decent talent coming up for Australia at the moment, but it's just going to take some time. How much have I missed? I haven't been on one of these live streams in 2+ months. I'm happy to be back. How have you been since these 2 months? Same as I normally am, to be honest. Just the same, working, streaming, and whatnot. I put up a poll shed, which is quite cool, in that time. Where are they playing, New Zealand or Australia? They are playing in Australia at Suncorp Stadium for this match. It's 12 midnight right now on the guide yesterday. Says the game was Friday at 10:40 p.m. Now it's saying 12:35 a.m. Saturday. So 12:35 a.m. Saturday is more likely, Mo. Like, we're about, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes away from kickoff, depending on how long it takes Australia for the welcome to country, which normally comes in just after the normal kickoff scheduled time, if that makes sense. Maybe he's playing for Australia. Says Leon. Good afternoon, Kiwi lads. We meet again. Says Spiderweek. Welcome in, mate. If you are keeping well, I believe Australia should coach, or should be coached by an Australian, although they've tried that and then they sacked their Australian coaches. Look at Eddie Jones. You tell him, well, I guess he could be counted as slightly Japanese as well, couldn't he? So he's a bit of a mix in that regard. But they've had Australian coaches and then they get rid of them, which, you know, it's not ideal. Definitely, because I think the thing that hurt them the most last World Cup was getting rid of their coach just beforehand. They just didn't have enough time under Eddie Jones, and with his intentions being with Japan, it just seemed like it was always going to be an uphill battle. Good morning from Limpopo. Have I said that correctly, Tanya? Hopefully I have. I tried to pronounce, what was it, Broadkeys earlier, and I butchered it big time. Good morning, Go Bok, says Llewellyn. I've remembered. And coached by which Australian? Says Mo. Yeah, at the moment they have, of course, not got their Australian. They have got themselves the Joe Schmidt. They've got a few assistant coaches at the moment from Australia. They just don't seem to want to put that main guy at the helm. They had Robbie Deans, didn't they? Is he? He's Australian, isn't he? Unless I've got that wrong. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Says Scrum Les, welcome in. Hope you are keeping well, Katie. Hope you're excited for this game. What time is it in America at the moment? It might almost be a decent kickoff for yourself. Or maybe not. Is it like 10 a.m.? I think I've done the maths wrong. Maybe it's 10 p.m. Somewhere around there. It's a time of the day, I believe, in America at the moment. Hey, Scrum Les, it's me, Novma. And I hope you're all well. And Jack is 6, says Jack. Good game. Well, hopefully Jack gets better, Jack. And 5 a.m. in the UK, says Anthony Walsh. And Flewellen. What did I say? Llewellyn, didn't I? And TV, it's 12 a.m. right now in Manhattan. And the Wallabies look quite decent in their last outing. Scrums need some work if they want to stand a chance against the Bok Pack, says Sean Lees. And yeah, I do think that is where we're going to see the clear advantage for South Africa, is in those scrums. They are just showing up against the Welsh. They started their internationals on a high. The Australians getting themselves the win in that contest. In that one moment, we'll go like this. And we'll go like, there we go. Their first game was up against the Welsh on the 6th of July. They managed to win that game 25 points to 16. Their next game was up against the Welsh again, and they managed to win it 36 points to 28, and then they had their game up against Georgia, winning it 40 points to 29. So in every game that Australia have played, they have still conceded quite a decent number of points, which is why I think South Africa, they will look to take the most of their opportunities if they are given them, whether that is a loose ball or whether that is from a dominant scrum. I think that is where we're going to see the South Africans really thrive in this contest. But saying that, in the past, it seemed like they should have been able to do that in Australia, and sometimes it just doesn't quite pay off for them, unfortunately. Hi from Colombia, 11 p.m. over here, and it's 10 p.m. I got the Greco-Roman wrestling on, and I realised I haven't been in a stream in a long time, and then I saw the bot game was on. Kiwi Lads 10 out of 10. Says Scrum Lads, well, it is great to have you back. Of course, the Olympics in full effect at the moment for, I think it's about a week more. Also, Robbie Deans is Kiwi, by the way. I butchered that one, didn't I? New Zealand and Australia are doing very well at the Olympics, says Rugby Union fan. And we have got there, and at the chat, we're in the USA is 4 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. I'm not very good with my geography. I've been working on it, but it's still not good. Looking through at what South Africa did throughout their games up against the Irish. They won the first one by 7 points, won their second game, lost the second game by the 1 point margin. Last minute drop kick from Kieran Frawley did change the momentum in that match. And then their last game, it was up against the Portuguese. They managed to win it 64 points to 21. So a pretty one-sided affair in that regard. We have got there, do you know that my prediction for All Blacks versus Los Pumas was New Zealand 36-15? Argentina, that's odd. Says Alave. Yeah, 1 point off what we did predict. I'm looking forward to my 3:30 a.m. All Blacks game. All-nighter it is, says Razor. Suncorp Stadium slowly filling up. I'll be honest, not as full as I expected. I know that it's supposed to be a sellout though, but they're going to have to get a lot more people in the stands. Only around 40 minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. We got the big build-up today, mainly due to the excitement of the Rugby Championship. Last year, when we saw this competition take place, we did see the New Zealanders take it out. Second place was South Africa. Third, Argentina. Australia only receiving the 1 point. Did you see Supercomputer predicted all the scores? What did they say for this game, Irvin, out of curiosity? For a supercomputer. What's the difference between a supercomputer and a normal computer? Other than it being a bit more, well, super. We're looking through at the benches for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. For the Australians, they've gone with the 5-3. For the South Africans, they have gone with the 6-2 split. For Australia, Josh Nassar, James Slipper, and Zane Ungor off the bench. Lot of experience for Slipper in that number 17 or number 1 jersey. Loose hair prop you definitely want to have later on in the contest. Jeremy Williams at 19 with Luke Raymer. He is going to make his debut for the Australians here. He's a great player throughout the Super Rugby competition. It's whether or not he plays 6 or whether he goes to 7, I would say, in this game is where I'm very curious. Also mentioning Carlo Tazano, I should say, as the number 7 for this game, which does mean no Fraser McWright for the Australians. Tate McDermott, Tom Liner, and Dylan Peach there as the number 23 for the South Africans. The 6-2 split with Malcolm Marks, Gerhard Stennekamp, and Vincent Koch there as the number 18. Ben Jason Dixon at 19. I was curious to see whether or not he would go into the loose forward trio or the locks. Someone did mention, though, that Peter Steftotoy more than likely would transfer into that locking duo if they did need to for this match. Marco van Staden and Kwaka Smith, 2 men who are great with the jackals of the ball and can look for turnovers later on in the game. That's the thing. I feel like the first 15 minutes of this game is really going to shape it, but the last 15 is where the game's going to be won by one of these two sides. It's whether or not South Africa's 6-2 split off the bench can thrive in the later stages, although the last time that they had that 6-2 split up against the Irish, it didn't quite go to plan as there were a couple injuries extremely early on, and then it became about a 5-1 in the end for South Africa. So avoiding the injuries early would be massive for these two sides. Why is Andrew Callaway practicing goal kicking? Since when is he a goal kicker? I know he can kick, but has he ever kicked for Australia at international level? I think he's just warming up, deciding he might as well have a few cracks at the post, unless... Is he going to be kicking this game? Surely they give it to Noah Lolesio. They're just showing him warming up, though, and it looks like he's more ready to kick at the post than Noah Lolesio would be. Grant Williams, Hollandre Pollard, the last two I should mention before I get completely and utterly distracted by Andrew Callaway. Sounds a bit dodgy, but looking through at the chat, Razor Robinson, yeah, we'll be surprised if Australia can score 2 tries. When can I stream this game for free? If you're in Australia, you can watch it on Stan or 9 Now, I think we'll actually have this game. in Australia, but it's also on Stan Sport, unfortunately, which is a paid subscription option. I hope they okay, Scrumless. We'll be with them, says Spider Mick. And we have got there, what do you think about Donaldson getting dropped for Lolicio? I think Donaldson has a higher ceiling than Lolicio, but maybe is more stable, not sure, says Razor. It is a tricky one. Like, when you've got a lot of 10 options at the moment, one of which was going to be Carter Gordon, but he's been taken out due to the NRL switch that he is planning, or the Rugby League switch. Maybe Ruben Love, a wee bit unlucky to make the All Blacks 23-man, or to not make the All Blacks 23-man team tonight against the Pumas. I think if New Zealand win comfortably, that's when we'll see maybe Ruben Love in the next contest. But at the end of the day, like, it's one of those ones, you've got so many 15s at the moment for New Zealand. So it's hard to squeeze all those young guys in to the same jersey. Superior Bok firepower, says Clifford there. Do you think they're going to dominate more at scrums or lineouts, Clifford, out of curiosity? Good morning, Hamish. It's Stuart Moore. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. Who replaces R.I. Hammy? Is that Ruben Love? Or Rico Ioane, I assume that is. It's Anton Leonard-Brown at number 13 for this game. Morning, Hamish. Rugby time. Go the box, says Joss. But they have got their 37 minutes away from the kickoff. So they are going to be that 15 minutes later than everyone thought. Congrats on 50k subs, Hamish. Thank you very much, Grumlass. Greatly appreciate it. I did get a little thingy-mabob made for the 50k, if I can get it. Here we go. You guys might be able to see it, but you might not. There you go, look at that. Kiwi Lads, 50k. Little one of those. It looks like it's on the packet, but it's engraved on the rugby ball thingy. Thought it was a good idea at the time. It was also very cheap. And, of course, I do not have much money, so that seemed like a very good, viable option for the 50,000. Yo, lad. Says Callum, welcome in. So Rico has been dropped. He hasn't completely been dropped. He is going to be coming off the bench as number 22. And when is it going to start? How do we entertain ourselves? Says Alav. Well, we can look through at some of the previous head-to-heads between these two sides. Australia have been doing extremely well when playing in Australia. Brisbane actually extremely strong for the Aussie side. I shaved my head Friday evening. Unfortunate, I don't have a funny-shaped head, says Mo. That's a big bonus. I'm very happy to see Rico on the bench. He just hasn't performed even at Super Rugby level. This will make him better. Any idea what the weather is like in Brisbane? It's a very nice afternoon by the looks of it. Of course, it's going to be an earlier start than we are used to seeing. It's overcast at the moment, but that's just Brisbane, isn't it? Normally their weather's a little bit up and down. I enjoy interacting with like-minded rugby fans to pass the time before the big games. Our well-deserved Chama says hi life there. As Mark Nwanganitawasi staying out of Union. Such a shame. He was fun to watch. Yeah, so he's decided to also go to Rugby League for next year. So him and Carter Gordon, they weren't even in contention for joining the squad because Joe Schmidt said pretty much what is the point of putting them in if they're not going to be there for the future, and that's what we're trying to build towards. What's happening in Brisbane, a game of rugby from what I know, but not too far away from the start of said game. And then also New Zealand versus Argentina will be taking place straight after, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated you all being here for this one. When you growing beard, I think that's supposed to be beard, but I shaved yesterday, so probably not for a while. I was going to leave a big, as they call it, filthy mustache. Like, we went down to here, and it was fully, it made me look like I was just out of prison. But I thought I'd better not. You know, I thought I'd better get rid of that as well. What game, Perth or Brisbane? Says Jack, this game is taking place in Brisbane. Game taking place in Perth is next week alongside Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. So that will be New Zealand versus South Africa for that one before we see the two sides go head-to-head in early September. They're just talking about no Fraser McWright. They've got a man who is very strong at number 7 for the Wallabies, Michael Hooper, talking about it. 125 test matches for that man, moaning off the bench. Excellent strategy, says Michael. And yeah, he was strong in the game up against the English in that second match. Although in this game, I think they've actually got... Who have they got off the bench? Do they have Bowden? No, I think... Yeah, Will Jordan off the bench for this one anyway. We have got there, when are you growing Beard Berard. No, you're not quite. You've almost got it, Callum. Just a couple more letters in there and you'll have it spot on. I'm going to catch the AB's Argentina game on demand Saturday afternoon, says Mo. Yeah, do you wanna fight? No, not quite. You haven't got the spelling. Once you get the spelling, we'll consider it. But once you get there, we'll address it. Excellent commentary, thanks, says Clifford. No worries at all. And of course, we are going to be back for the game just around the corner. Like I said, Argentina versus New Zealand. These two sides will be playing next week as well. This is weird, too early to braai or have a beer. It is a bit. You might end up, your perfect scenario, right, is to cook some very quick food in between the two games of the Rugby Championship. Because this game is going to be ending at roughly around that maybe 8:35, somewhere around there in South Africa. And then from there, the next game is going to be starting only about 40 minutes later. So if you can end up cooking something super duper quickly, you're good. Eggs, bacon, that kind. What do you braai in a morning braai rather than an afternoon or late night braai? I guess it would be slightly different, wouldn't it? Hooper got snubbed and laughed it off. Like a champ, great character, says Anthony Walsh. And good morning, afternoon all, says Grant. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are keeping well. We have got there r/wasted, says Caitlin there. Let's go, Marcy Kinnes. I'm looking forward to seeing Wallace play and super duper quickly, says Stuart Moore. And always wars, says Skeptic. There as well, they are just showing South Africa versus Portugal. That was a dominant performance from the South Africans. Still Portugal, though. Some great moments throughout that game. They actually scored the first try of that contest. Every braai has meat time of the day. It does not matter, says Grant. The All Blacks have won the past 4 editions of the Rugby Championship. The Kiwi lads 3, says Kiwi Rob. The question is, can they get it done this year? They're going to South Africa for 2 test matches. They're going to be hard to beat in South Africa, the Springboks, but, New Zealand, who knows what we will be looking at in terms of the table in 2 or 3 weeks' time, heading into those games, any form of meat. And just a real test for Schmitz as coach, and we only braai from 12 p.m, says Jake. I'm getting your chin. You're getting my chin. I assume that's, you're saying if we were to fight, you'd get my chin. Maybe. Because you're not actually getting my chin. I'm not sending it to you, if that's the question. I don't think it's a question, though. Springboks looking to win first Rugby Championship title in year following the Rugby World Cup crown. It says there. Callum, you okay, mate? Says Caitlin. I think Callum may have taken a few too many head knocks, if I'm being honest. Maybe that is why he likes to get into the fights, because that is all he knows. But 31 minutes. You roll your R's nicely, bro. Says KwaZulu. I try my best. I'm very lucky in regards to the fact that my tongue can roll. I know that some people do struggle with the tongue roll side of things. But yeah, I got a flexible tongue. The bigger question, can South Africa win all the games? Says Kiwi Rob. That's a good question. But they have to get past the Wallabies here first. I feel like that's one of those challenges that maybe for some South African supporters and maybe just New Zealand supporters as well, they're looking towards those games up against South Africa and New Zealand. But the thing is, you cannot look past your opposition now, because if you do, that's when you struggle. Should have been girl, says Peter Wild. No, if we was to scrap, says Callum. I like you, Callum. You're good value, I do have to say. And 10-10 Hamish Kiwi lads, says Scrum lads there. And Waikato versus Bay of Plenty, weirdest way to describe a tongue, says Caitlin there. Yeah, I guess, but then in a way, when you really think about it, it's also, like, it's true, like, tongues up, what else would you call them? Like, they're yeah. George, is that you? Says Scrumless. What's your score prediction, Hamish? I think for this game, I went 27 points to 20 in favour of the South Africans. I think it's going to be close. I've got a flexible tongue, title of Hamish's sex tape. Says Grant there, and thanks for doing this, man. Says Mission Leopard, no worries at all. Now, of course, I should just clarify quickly, no match footage will be shown, mainly because of copyright, but anything that happens in the game, we will be letting you know through commentary, and also the highlights will be up on the Stan Sport YouTube channel pretty much straight after this game is over, so I do recommend checking that out as well, Hamish, with your R's ability, learn Ukrainian. Says Peter Wild, hello Hamish, it's been a while, says Matthew Lang, welcome back, mate. I love you to come give me a kiss, says Callum. I'm alright. A good day all, like the suit, says Arthur. Tell you what, it was a frantic scramble to get the suit on We were very late. We almost came here with no shirt. That was how late we were getting ready for the stream. But we got here in the end. We managed to do it up, put it straight. And kudos to you for trying to be nice to a wasted guy trying to start a scrap, says Caitlin. If you're Georgia Hamish, I'll give you a kiss, Callum, says Scrum Lass there. And also, I'm on PC now. Yes, my favourite ref is going to ref. Says Erwin, why are Rugby Australia so brain dead? To keep putting a dabbing sport in Australia on at a time when club rugby is on makes no sense. 2:30 kickoff. Yeah, I agree. Like, next week, it's a normal time. It's going to be on at 9:45. But this week, it just is really confusing why it's an early game. I don't know if it's because it's going to overlap with the NRL later, but all I know is just have it as a late game. You know, I don't know the logic behind it, because it also means that you're not getting your South African watching as well. And I don't know whether that's like a mindset or like a try and mind games type of thing from the Australians, but I don't think it's going to work in that regard. We have got their morning Hamish. Hope you're well. Up early for this one, says Andre. Can Bryce so early, or can't Bryce so early in South Africa? Too early for hangover for me, says Andre there, and a Liverpool kiss. And I don't think a Feinberg will handle the pressure, but Pollard in ASAP. Yeah, although I would argue that him up against the Irish in that second test match was just, he was a game changer for them at number 15, Nervous Sasha at 10. And yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they didn't try him at 15, but then I can understand because Willie LaRue, he has been in some great form as of late. You spat on me yesterday, says Callum. I don't think I left my house yesterday. Did you come to my house then, Callum? Did I not see you? We need changed rugby times, says Jack there. No better commentator on YouTube than Hamish. You're in the right place, everyone, says Xavier Brown. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. You playing rugby this year, Xavier, out of curiosity? Can't remember whether or not you've mentioned it earlier on, whether or not you've got your club season taking place. Because of Olympic schedules. Yeah, but still, you know, like, I don't want to be that guy, but, like, the overlap with the Olympics, yes, you don't really want it, but it's going to happen anyway because of how many games are taking place. I just found out I can stream the game to my TV from my computer. Tonight's going to be a great night. Hello, sir, says Michael. Welcome in. If you are doing extremely well. And Pollard is 30 now, guys. Need to build the next kicker into the squad within 10 years, says Anthony. And we're playtime. But here we are, block, says Andre. Yeah, it is greatly appreciated, all you guys in South Africa or anywhere else in Africa, in the UK, getting up early to be able to watch these games. Just chatting to Rassi Erasmus at the moment. Talking about the young Wallaby team and what to expect from Rassi here. And we have got the played rugby this year. No game time, or no game tonight. Team forfeited last game of the season tomorrow, says Xavier. Well, hopefully it does go all right for yourself. It's game only 25 minutes away, ladies and gentlemen, so we are getting extremely close to the start of this match. Looking through once again at the starting lineups for anyone who does not know who is in the starting side. You are about to Australia. They have got Isaac Kailea, Matt Faisler, and Alan Alatoa there as the number 3. Nick Frost and Lukan Salakai-Lotto joining up for the locking duo with Rob Bellatini, Carlo Tizzano on debut, and not only on debut, on starting debut as well. So he's been thrown in the deep end, but that man handles pressure very well throughout Super Rugby Pacific. You know that because he's played for some pretty bad sides in the past, unfortunately, in terms of the finishes throughout the season, but he's always a standout and loves to make plenty of tackles. Harry Wilson, number 8. He could be a game changer in this contest. He's going head-to-head with Eldrick Lowe. I mentioned about it on my on my lineups video, I think it actually was. I mentioned how it's a matchup that not many people have thought about in terms of Eldrick Lowe versus Harry Wilson, but stylistically, it's actually going to be an incredible one because both men love running the ball hard. They love being in support. They love getting the offloads. It's just going to be back and forth when those two go head-to-head. Jake Gordon and number 9 with Nololisco as the 10. Hunter Baisami and Lena Cattell, a lot of power coming in the midfield from the Australians. Filippo Dongunu out on one wing, Andrew Callaway out on the other, and Tom Wright at number 15. Then for the South Africans in this contest, Willie Oxney, Bongi Umbanambi, and Franz Malharba, a World Cup winning front row here for the Boks. Eben Etzebeth and RG Snyman, 2 men who can also change the game. RG Snyman, he came on and off the field about 3 times throughout the last game up against the Irish. That was due to the injuries that we did see continuously coming for South Africa early on. Willie LaRue, he is back in number 15. He is another man who was injured in that game. Same with Peter Steph de Toy. Eldrick Lowe at 8. Sia Khaleesi, the captain, will be there as the number 6. Kobus Ronak and Sasha Feinberg. Ungome Zulu as the 10. A combination that if we had said that that was going to be the 9-10 combo for the Rugby Championship maybe a year and a half ago, people would have laughed in your face. But now, it might just be the future combo for them. Kobus Ronak, of course, he is not getting any younger, but then that's where someone like a Grant Williams off the bench will end up bringing a lot more youth to this combination. Damien Delende and Jesse Creel, really strong over the last 12 months or so. Kurtley Arendse, that man knows how to score tries, and he does it often, going face-to-face with Andrew Callaway for this match. Cheslin Colby out on the other wing, and Willie LaRue slotting in as the number 15 as rugby union slowly faded away. I don't know. I feel like some people would say yes, but then other people I would say that it's going in the right direction. You push my dad over, says Callum. I shouldn't laugh because that makes it seem like I actually did. It's just a weird statement, Callum, isn't it? I'm sorry about your dad, I guess. And Hamish, do you think Sia Masuku will get a shot at 10 this Rugby Championship? He's so versatile. I don't see it happening this Rugby Championship, but I would say next year, if he has another great season for the Sharks in the URC, it could certainly be an option. And you give me a black eye, says Callum. And all the way from Cape Town, says Patricia, welcome in early. Hope you are keeping well. I think this is the first time ever game has had a good time for NA people, says RS Blue. And Australia 31, South Africa 29. I got a bet for the ABs to score 3 tries in 30 minutes. And also, if Dezano can handle this and put in a performance, he's going to be in some very good stead. He's a small man though, 180, 98 kgs, although he's bigger than Artie Savio, I believe, when it comes to his weight, which is quite interesting. Taranaki versus Counties was a good start to the season. And also a close game between Wellington and Auckland. Is this a strong South African side? I would say so. I think based off form, this is probably close to the best side that could be out there, with the exception of a few injured players who weren't available. I think the Boks lead whole game, lose last minute, says KwaZulu. And I've been singing Sasha's praises for 2 years now, says Grant. And also we have got there, it will be great to see 9 Grant Williams combination with Masuku and 10, says Andre. And also, when does Joe wake up and get the junkyard dog in the gold, says Bill Whitlingham. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer, I would say, till we see Tim Ryan, but I don't think it's going to be, like, too long, if that makes sense. I honestly think it could be within a year, I'd say. Maybe another similar situation to Sia Masuku, which would be he needs one good season. If he can do that again and back it up, then he'll have a good chance. You did it. Your choice helped my dad up. I'm pushing you over last chance, Hamish. Wait, so you're saying I've pushed your dad over currently, and now you're like, hey, he's still on the ground because I haven't helped him up. You have to pick him up, or you're going to push me over? Don't do drugs, kids, says Caitlin. That's a very good message. Definitely nice little touch with the pointing upwards. Not even once, says Scrum Lass. Hamish looking very smart. Thank you for dressing up for the big game, says Brian. No worries at all. We are going to be wearing the suit all day. I won't sleep in it, though. I'll probably take it off by then. But, yeah, decent hour for this game to take place for us here in New Zealand. Not so much for you guys in South Africa, but the good news is we're only about 15 minutes away from the kickoff in this matchup. It is going to be an awesome one. They are just showing Isaac Kailea. Massive chance for this young man. And like a man, someone make me feel more confident, says KwaZulu. Hello, who do you think will win? I have gone with South Africa, 27 points to 20. I think it's going to be close. You need to learn how to spell wanna, Callum. W-A-N-N-A. You have a lot more success. That's close to Bona with a W. We have got there, let's go guys, says Kazayan. We've got there Akata Gordon and Nawangi. Both gone to league. Or Nawa Konitawasi, yeah. We have got great time, or not great for me, on the east coast of the USA, 12:30 a.m. here. And Epic Rugby, let's go. Wanna is also not a word. It's better than Wona, isn't it? Like, he's getting closer. He can at least step in the right direction, and then eventually he'll go to want to. Help my up then. 19 minutes to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back, says Pads Ablaze, and yeah, that's dangerously close to Bona, says Scrum Lass. Just looking through at this Springbok pack. They are formidable, they are intimidating when they make their way onto the park. Baby steps, says Caitlin. And put a score prediction on screen, so we can vote, says Corne. We have got the voting in the chat at the moment. That is going on. I will tell you exactly what it is. And baby steps. We're good there, Bona with the W. Just don't knock the pole vault bar off. Yeah, at the moment, 78% have backed South Africa to go on and win this game, compared to, I believe that was only 18% for South Africa, 18% for Australia, and the draw is 5% for this one. Just help his dad up. Tell me where your house is. You said you were here yesterday. We have got their first time seeing you so happy, says Erwin. I'm in a joyful mood. The Rugby Championships here, ladies and gentlemen. 47-3 is the prediction for AI. For South Africa, I assume that is. That is massive. Like, I would like to think we will see more than one try for Australia in this game, but you just don't really know, do you? Because there is a chance that we see the South Africans come out absolutely firing. Tell this person where you live so they can push you over, says Caitlin. And New Zealand is going to run a riot against Argentina after that performance against French youths, says Cats are now looking classy, Lika Bok, says Aaron Smith. Oh, they're saying Sonny Bill Williams, or at least he is saying about Filipa Dangunu, saying he needs to be a menace in this game, but not so much of a menace as he was in the last game up against Georgia, where he got himself a red card. Paisami works on my tits. What does, like, does that mean, like, what does that mean? Is that good or bad? Like you don't like him, or you do like him? I've never heard that saying. What does it mean? The rugby starts in 3 minutes for me. Yeah, although the Australians have set you up, Corne, because it's going to be in 17 minutes. They always say it's 15 minutes early in Australia so that they have more people popping in and watching. No likey. Okay, I understand now. So he gets on your nerves is what you're saying, pretty much. Grinds your gears. Works on your breasts. Good for Hamish today. Normal time commentary, not like others early morning. Says Brian, South Africa win by 30 plus. All Blacks win by 17. And Carter Gordon is average. Says Kanye Ketchup. When is he going to help you? So you're going to help his dad. Says Pads Ablaze. And we have got their Bill still alive. Says Katzenel. They're just showing the head-to-head in the career. 20 test matches for Noah Lolesio. Only 4 for Sasha Feinberg. Zulu. And like I said in my preview, it's not very often that Noah Lolesio actually has an advantage over the opposition fly half. We have got their Hamish counting down the minutes so he can start commentating and ignoring certain live chat comments. Yeah, although it is intriguing to see where it's going in terms of the chat. Get on her tits is an Aussie slang. Gets on her okay. There you go. How far are we, Hammy? We are only less than 15 minutes away from the start. The only person Hamish will ever push over is Mark Talia. And Chislin Colby and Aronsa is a danger for any team with habits of leaving open space. Means works on my nerves. As an old saying, yeah, see, I haven't heard that one before. My brain went in a different direction when it was said, but I won't say what direction that was. It's going to be feral. Or it's going to get feral, says Scrum Lass. And Sasha needs to show the world that he is that guy today. Yeah, because he's had some good moments. Off the bench, we've seen him be phenomenal for the Springboks. They are just showing him now. Kobus Reinach, 34 years of age. So he hasn't got another World Cup in him, I don't think. But this young man, Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu, certainly does. I thought I was getting on one's nerves. I think there's plenty of ways to say it. I would say it's just one of those ones that I did not know. What did I even miss? You've missed quite a bit. Someone said I pushed over their dad, which I did not. I should clarify. What's the odds for a red card? I'd say that we're about, I'm going to say 27% chance we see a red card in this game. So about a quarter, because it's going to be feisty out there. I mean, we saw Eben Etzebeth and Alan Alatoa the last time that these two sides played. There was a bit of argy-bargy, so there might be a bit of feeling in this game. Are you South African or just really good at pronouncing their names? I'm not South African, but I've spent a lot of time commentating South African games. But, like, yeah. It's one of those ones that I can still get better at it, I would say. Like, Ngume Zulu, I think I still struggle with, as well as, I know that someone said that I was saying Oxney's chair wrong a little bit. I get it a bit wonky. Leaving Colby space is like giving a child presents 120 days for his birthday, says Irvin. And his URC performance was a shocker. Crazy how confident can change a player's mentality, says Katzenau. Hello from South Africa, says Arlene. Welcome in. Moss is here in the chat, looking dapper there, mate. Says Bathandwa. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but hope you are keeping well. Maybe a supercomputer wears a cape. Maybe. South African rugby future looks bright with all the young players coming in. Me and my dad versus you. Well, that just seems unfair. I'll take Caitlin as my teammate. In that regard, I feel like she could scrap. That's a compliment, isn't it? It's supposed to be a compliment anyway. Also, you still refuse to say Selman Mora correctly. Yeah, I feel like I just do it for fun now, don't I? We're getting closer. Luckily, he's not in this game, so we won't have to try and pronounce him. South Africa Rugby Future. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? We have got there South African, says Cape Rebel League. Ready, says Caitlin there with the fist. But we are almost ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of this match. 13 minutes away from kickoff, watching from Fiji. Says Moss, it's committed rugby fans. They get up at the crack of dawn to see their box kick-ass morning all. Says Bianca. Welcome in, Bianca. Hope you are doing extremely well. Hopefully you are feeling awake. The game just around the corner. Where the hell is Gary in the gym? Who's Gary? Gary who? Oh, I know Gary. Gary's that guy who is never wrong. I've just remembered. He'll be here at some stage. He was the youngest Australian players in the lineup. I believe in terms of youth for the Australians, I want to say Isaac Kailea is one of the youngest. How it unfair, you baby, says Callum there. Well, now it's fair because we got a 2-on-2. You know, it's a bit even. You know, hopefully this game stays 15-on-15 throughout the whole match. Pick me, says Peter Wild, and Headsbro says Spider Mech, and there as well. Just having some fireworks going off. They are about to have the welcome to country. Then we will end up with the national anthems. And then we are here at the start of this contest between Australia and South Africa. It is going to be intense. It is going to be exciting. And there is another game just around the corner. If this wasn't already enough, we've got New Zealand versus Argentina. That will be taking place just a little bit later on in the day. But looking through at the starting lineups once again for these two sides, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 successful wins in a row for the Australians, they come into this match on that 3-match winning streak with a few new players in their starting lineup. Isaac Kailea, Matt Faisler and Alan Alaratoa. It's been mentioned all throughout the week that Australia do not have the advantage when it comes to the front row and in fact the scrums in general. But the question is, can these young players really step up and try and put a bit of a big hit in? Nick Frost and Lucan Salakai-Aloro will be the 4 and the 5. Rob Valentini, Carlo Tizzano and Harry Wilson there at number 8. Now, Tizzano, it is his debut. Harry Wilson, it will be his first starting minutes in quite some time. And then the new combination at 9 and 10 of Gordon and Lolesio. It seems to be one that they've tried quite a bit this year, and hopefully it does go very well for them. Hunter Paisami, who grinds someone's gears, as I mentioned earlier on, but he is a powerful ball runner, and he will be there at number 12 with Len Ikitau on the outside as the number 13. Filipo Dangunu and Andrew Callaway out on the wings. Tom Wright at number 15. His kicking could be crucial in this contest. He's able to get those 50-22s quite often and has a very long clearing boot. One of the longest we have seen in a while for Australia. But now looking through at the South African starting lineup, it is Oxney alongside Bongio Manambi and Franz Malharba, World Cup winning front row. Same can be said about the rest of this forward pack. Eben Etzebeth, RG Snyman will be the 4 and the 5 with Sia Khaleesi, Peter Steftatoi, and then Eldrick Lowe gets that massive chance as the number 8. Kobus Reinach and Sasha Feinberg Ungome Zulu at number 10. Damien Dialende alongside Jesse Krill, a world-class midfield combo here for the South Africans. Kurtley Arendse, the try-scoring machine. Will he cross the chalk once more in another Australian series? Colby, Cheslin Colby, out on the right wing. I don't think I've ever messed up that man's name before, but there we go. We've done it now. Billy LaRue at number 15, coming back from that head knock up against the Irish. He will be determined. he will be hungry because we've got a Damian Willemse just around the corner from a return. You've got a Sasha Feinberg Ungomezulu who might find himself back at 15 at some point. And you've got Apelele Fasi Villilaroo really having to earn his minutes. But he's been a strong player for the Boks for quite some time. Australia going to struggle with the scrums. Springboks forever, says Richardine. And also we've got the RG Snowman out. Yeah, Peter Steph-Toy. Actually, it's just been shown there. Late withdrawal, which does bring Ben Jason Dixon into the starting lineup and Salman Morat as the man who makes his way off the bench. Grant will be very happy about that. That is for sure. I'm hungover and dead tired, thank God, for Google notifying me the game's on. Says it was Simon. And morning, Amish, says Dylan. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. I thought the kickoff was right now, says Bystander. It's supposed to be, but Australia are always 15 minutes late with their kickoffs. Unfortunately, Tupou isn't there. Nah, he's injured at the moment. What's the game delayed? It's normally 15 minutes later. And yeah, that's just something that Australia do, unfortunately. It's really annoying because everywhere that you look pretty much says that it's going to be starting at a certain time and then it never actually does. But we are not too far away from the start of this contest, about 8 minutes or so, just the national anthems, and then we will be into this contest. We have got there in bed getting a coffee and put a coffee machine on at halftime. It seems like a lot of people are getting their caffeine hits in the morning, definitely with the early morning start that it is for the South Africans. We have got there, I don't have TV, says Johan. I'm going with Australia. To be honest, I was amazed with their combinations when they played against Georgia. There might be an upset, says Pati. And yet they did make a lot of improvements in their game up against the Georgians. Something that might concern them, though, was those 29 points that they conceded up against the Georgians. That is somewhere that could be a bit of a difference maker. If South Africa are able to get themselves 29 points, they won't often concede 40. That was the crispest high five I've ever heard between Eldrick Lowe and I think it was Ben Jason Dixon. They gave the big old... And oh, that was loud. Sorry about that. Anyone who has headphones on, nice man. I am excited. Are you? I am extremely excited. I don't think I've been this excited for the Rugby Champ. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I just haven't been this excited for the Rugby Championship for about a year since the last one did take place. Sia Khaleesi singing a song, Franz Malherbe looking at him, going, I have no idea what you're saying. When does the game start? It is going to be starting in 7 minutes' time, ladies and gentlemen. The two sides just about to make their way out of the tunnel, having my bacon sandwich and tea. Says Manny M. Australians are naturally annoying, says Bruce there. And listen to that, love it, says Simon. And hey, Matt, how are you watching the game? I am watching it here on Sky Sports Select, a way to keep our attention before the game, says Caitlin. Yeah, I do appreciate those of you who have been here about 50 minutes, which is how long we have been live on the channel. We'll only have about 15 minutes to build up for that next game between Argentina and New Zealand, just with how closely the games are compact together. But, yeah, I hope you guys have had some sort of enjoyment from the build-up of this matchup, because we will have one next week as well, I should mention. Maybe not quite as long, but we will certainly be talking a lot of rubbish throughout it. As well, the Aussies look focused. Well, they have to be. At the end of the day, the record that they've got up against South Africa in Australia is very impressive. And there's a lot on the line here. If they can get themselves an early win in this Rugby Championship, that would be a massive step in the right direction for the Aussies, not just for this Rugby Championship, but also for the Bledisloe Cup. That is another comp that, of course, Australia will be eyeing up, or at least another trophy. That is on the line. Running out, says Irwin. Yep, both sides out there on the field. Now we are about to have the national anthems alongside the Welcome to Country, and then we are into this match. But the last minute news, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that RG Snyman will not be playing in this contest, what kind of impact will that bring for the South Africans? Peter Steph-Toy moved into the locks, Ben Jason Dixon into 7, and then at number 19 they have got Salman Morat as the last man there. And listening to you are two of the 3 reasons I tune in. Listening to you, what's the other one, Caitlin? You got one more. I assume I know. Oh, they've got the Welcome to Country. That guy kind of looks like Via Fafita, of course, signing a new deal with Scarlets. Man, I'm a nerd. We have got there heaps of South Africans in Bris Vegas and coffee in Cremora. It's not inside, it's on top. If you know, you know, says Habby. What was the reason for RG's name and being pulled? I assume it's some sort of injury. I'm not sure of the extent of the injury, though, at this point. But hopefully, throughout the match, we'll actually get to hear Safa accent on cute chicks is the best, says Annoy there. And I'm back. No, did I miss the game? Sorry, you did not. Can you show the game on the screen? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio will get you taken straight off YouTube. So I wish that I could, but they would take us straight down, mainly Stan Sport. But we will be doing the live play-by-play commentary all throughout the game, talking about it. Rugby, of course, says Caitlin. That's true, yeah. Yeah, the rugby. Wait, I missed Archie's name and thing. Peter Steph and Lock. Yep, so he is going to be playing number 5 in this contest. And then in terms of the other option that they've got, it's going to be Ben Jason Dixon to 7. Try to buy the license. The license, in terms of like broadcasting, is probably around, I would say, at least a few $1 million. Now, I might have to look for my piggy bank, and I might be able to get together a few dollars, but I don't think I'll be able to get the few million that I'd need to buy the license. Plus, I'd have to move to a country that doesn't have exclusive broadcasting rights, because New Zealand have Sky Sports, so they have exclusivity in terms of what they're able to broadcast when it comes to rugby. So I'd have to move to like Mongolia and then do it from there. Hamish, what did you think of Caitlin's third thing was? Just the rugby, the love of the sport, You need a big piggy bank. Yeah, I need a massive one. I need one the size of a house, I would say. Does anyone know if it's a legal way to watch in Indonesia? I would recommend going on the Rugby Championship website, because that way you'll be able to see the where to watch options depending on where you are. I feel like there'll be some sort of option in Asia to be able to watch though, so I would recommend checking that out. Ruben Love should be in the starting lineup versus the Pumas. Says Manny M, does Peter Steph have experience on that number 5 lock? He actually does. A little while ago though, since we've seen Peter Steph there, but it was originally talked about how if they needed lock cover, he would shift to lock and then Ben Jason Dixon would take on his jersey. So it's kind of worked out in some regards that the South Africans haven't had to make a huge amount of changes, only bring in Salman Moura in. Come on, guys, let's all chip in together. $10 each can get us close, says Xavier Brown. Go to the nearest Irish pub in Indonesia, says Hanoi. And there as well, but we got the South Africa, I can't speak anymore, I'm too excited. South African national anthem being sung at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will be straight into this contest. But if anyone is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The South African national anthem, that man is absolutely testing his pipes out. That sounds dodgy, but he is screaming from the top of his lungs, which also doesn't sound great. Come on, Aussie, says JDB. We got this box, says Terrence there. Now the Australian national anthem. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to only a couple minutes away from the kickoff. 15 minutes late, but really this is the time that we knew that they'd be starting. It's just that they always tell us earlier. The Australian national anthem being sung by David Kidd, who I have no idea who that is, but he is singing it very happily at the moment with his Aussie scarf. But yeah, do let me know your score predictions as well as your first try scorer in this contest. Who will be the man that crosses that try line first? Crowd, they are loud at the moment singing the national anthem. This is a new feeling for the Australians, and I know that that's weird to say, but there seems to be belief in this Wallaby side, which has not existed for the last few years. So maybe, just maybe, there is an upset on the cards. 26 for the Australians, 18 for South Africa, says Stuart Moore, a South African watching from Kenya, says Ranger. So welcome in. Good morning, I should say, seeing as it's nice and early for you guys in South Africa. How elegant. Thanks, says a Matt there. And I'm having oxtail with my garlic bread and potato top. Sounds all right. Big Rob Valetini, first meat pie, says Glenn there. And like that New Zealand rugby analyst who lives in Cartel and Festa, Mexico, says Rugby Union fan. And Callaway to score the first try, says John. As Brayton? Not that I know of, no. I don't even know who that is, to be honest. But now the Australians, they are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Carlo Tazzano. Throughout Super Rugby Pacific, he made 245 tackles. Why does mine not work? Says, am that guy. What are we talking about? If we're talking about the coverage, sadly on YouTube, there is nowhere to be able to watch. Bro Rugby Streams is not working. Says, I'm that guy. And thanks for the stream, brother, from Cape Town, says Reese. But we're here now, the Rugby Championship, ladies and gents. It's been a long-awaited competition, definitely after the hype of the July Internationals. Making a starting debut, it will be Sasha Feinberg Ungome Zulu. If you don't know that man's name, you will know it by the end of this match because he has got talent for days and such X-factor that he could be the massive game-changer here for the South Africans. Gives the referee Luke Pearce the handshake there, show of respect from the youngster. Pearce, English, Paul Williams, Holly Davison, and Ben Whitehouse will be the other three referees. But South Africa are going to be kicking off this one from left to right at Suncorp Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to rumble for this contest. I'm hungry, guys. Says I there on Aussie commentary. Will be muted and listening to this stream. I'm free to view the box in South Africa. Hope it happens. It should. Like, at the end of the day, that is the national sport. So I feel like it should definitely be shown as much as possible. But 3, 2, 1, we are underway, ladies and gentlemen, for the Rugby Championship. Sasha Feinberg, Unga Mazulu to kick this one off. But we are now ready. Don't listen to it saying delayed. It has now just started. Nicely taken by Australia, just outside of their own 22. Now Jake Gordon going across to the left-hand side, finding Lukan Salakai Lotto. Crowd looks great. Yeah, the crowd looks packed out. It's sold out for this contest at Suncorp, and there's a real test match feel about this environment. Jake Gordon puts it high. Chasing after this one will be Andrew Callaway down towards the halfway line. Beautifully taken by Vili LaRue. He's asking the referee for a penalty as he was falling towards the ground. Here comes better. Steph Toy bumps off Andrew Callaway and gets his offload on the inside, playing like RG Snyman. Now loose ball. It's going to be knocked on by the Australians. I don't think it will be a deliberate knockdown. A little bit scrappy at the moment. I think there might have been a knock on from both sides. But it is play on. And now they will go back for the original scrum. And this is somewhere that a lot of people were waiting to see how the South Africans would do up against this Australian four-pack. A lot of people feel South Africa have that advantage. But Peter Stiftatoy, just in the process of tackling there. Matt Faisler knocking the ball on. And Oxnashare is ripped out of the hands of Nick Frost. A little bit scrappy from both sides. So Aussies putting the pressure on, says JDB in the box by 7, says Nick there. A jacket, collar and tie, says Paul Theory. It is indeed. Although my pants do not match the suit, I will say. Not quite as impressive. And scrum them boys, go the bock. Says Renzo there, Aussies on fire. Says annoying, hope the Aussies show up for a good game. I love an invigorated Australian crowd. It's been too long. And go the bock, go, says Moses. And like I was saying earlier on, hang on. Cheslin Colby is feeding the ball into the scrum, ladies and gentlemen. That's a new tactic. It's going to work anyway because the Springboks have got the penalty advantage. But putting Kobus Reinach out wide in that process, that's the innovation that Rassi Erasmus has. They'll have to bring out a new rule saying you're not allowed to have anyone but your halfback feed it. Nicely contested in the air. Vili LaRue with a kick down the wing, controlled by Dumgunu. They're only a couple metres out, but they will go back for the original penalty at the scrum time. There was about a 40-metre advantage there for the South Africans. This is a perfect appetizer for the AB, says JDB. A while back you said you were waiting for a special delivery from South Africa. Did it arrive? It certainly did. It was a South African shirt. But I haven't got it with me at the moment. It's in my room. It was not the Springboks kit, though. It was like one that said World Champions and whatnot on it as well. Hey, how's it, Hamish, brother? How you doing, mate? Here, all cool, says Beauty V. Doing very well. South Africa are going to be kicking this one towards the touchline. John wants me to say something. I do know what that means, though, John, so I won't be saying that one. Now 20 metres out from the line. It's going to be the line out for South Africa. It is Bongyo Manambi who is throwing this one. And also Springboks by 45, says Johannes Payne. And how's it, Hamish? Hold my beer. Check this move. Show it at the end of the stream. Says Caitlin. If I have got time, I'll quickly grab it in between the streams. But I did show it at the end of the South Africa versus Fiji women's game for the Olympic Sevens. It was on that stream, I believe, that I did quickly show it. But Kobus Reinach now going back across to Eben Etzebeth. A tackle made on him by Matt Faisler, but South Africa still 22 metres out from the line. A big charging run. Paisami has the tackle. Now Reinach going back across to the left-hand side. That is a knock on. I think it was Ben Jason Dixon, was it? It's going to be the penalty. Was a knock on. It was even Etzebeth who did drop that ball. You have to wear it. Says locking down the box rattled, says JDB. Yeah, although I don't think they can be too rattled when they were on attack for the last few minutes. But yeah, Etzebeth wasn't supposed to get that ball and then it just slipped through his fingers. He caught it way behind him. We have got there a show what at the end of the stream. Missed it, says Bo Stand. Love your channel, says Lancaster fan. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here for this stream. Noel Alicio, great clearing kick. Now it's going to be the line out for Matt Faisler. And 64-9 is the score prediction. Oh, Peter Stiftatoy was on Australia's side, so they had to wait till he was onside. Now getting ready to throw this one in. Matt Fazer goes to the front. Well done by the Australians to retain that ball. Something that sides have struggled up against South Africa to be able to do. Gordon kicks it in behind, but it finds the hands of Willie LaRue, who will now look for the kick downfield. Australia are back to cover it with Andrew Callaway going for the kick inside of his half. Kicking down into the 22 of South Africa, and Sasha Feinberg Ungomea Zulu does end up taking the mark. Our Rassi's too clever, says Terence there. Now kick towards the touchline. And Ungomea Zulu gets it out. Australia taking the ball quickly. Kicked high from Nololisio. That's pretty much gone straight up. It comes down on the hands of Cobus Reinach. Gets his offload to Ben Jason Dixon. A poor kick from Nololisio. Now giving South Africa a perfect counter-attacking chance. Billy LaRue goes off to Eben Etzebeth. Tackled by Harry Wilson. South Africa having much more of the possession in the early stages of this match. Lukan Salakai Lotto not able to roll away, just fell over the middle of the breakdown, and South Africa will get themselves the early penalty in their favour. Now, they've already had one of these. This one, I believe they have to take the 3 here, though. They're in the perfect position on the field to just be able to bang it over easily, and that is exactly what Sasha Feinberg Ungomea Zulu is now going to be attempting. A big run from Eben Etzebeth trying to break through, but it was Harry Wilson who eventually managed to drag him down and giving away field position and points. Says Anoy, yeah, wasn't the best kick from Nololisio, unfortunately for the Australians. They went from taking the quick throw and seeming like they were heading in the right direction to then giving that ball up at the wrong time. He's 8 from 8. He has not missed a kick in his international career as of yet. For Sasha Feinberg Ungomea Zulu. Is that about to... Oh my goodness, that's a shocker. It is going to change. That is now his first ever miss in international rugby. He apologises to his teammate. That kick looked awful. He didn't get a lot of height on it. I think maybe didn't quite strike it the way that he wanted. He actually wanted to get a bit of the left to right on it. But he's disappointed with that one, Sasha Feinberg Ungomea Zulu. Right, it's going to be the 22. So Noah Lalesio will be the man to kick this one downfield with the 22 dropout. Now, Eldrick Lowe running it hard. He is always aggressive. Commentator Curse from St Andrews, baby. Says David Lim, your commentator cursed him. Says Timmy, but that is going to be another penalty now. Going the way of the South Africans. Rob Valentini, the man who has been penalised. I'm from Durban, South Africa. Excellent commentary. Eugene here. And good morning from GQ. Welcome in. Keep them coming, Hamish. We want Aussie to win, says David Lim. And told you there's something funny in the Brisbane water. Now, they will once again kick this one towards the touchline here for the South Africans. Sasha Feinberg Ungomea Zulu getting good distance on it right towards the corner. Fantastic kick. About 12 metres, maybe 15 out from the line now. Joe Schmidt, he will know that his side is under a lot of pressure at the moment in terms of the field possession. Or the field position, I should say. Now Bongi Umbanambi ready to throw this one in for the South Africans. That rolling ball, something that they may look to target throughout the early stages of this match. It's gone into Eben Etzebeth, and now the whole forward pack joining that maul. There is an advantage now for lifting a leg against the Australians. Cobus Reinach hanging onto it at the back, tapping the bottom of Umbanambi as if to say, let me use it. Because, of course, with the new rule, once you are told to use it once, you do have to use it. That is stolen by Australia, but they will go back again for another penalty to South Africa. It's going to be against Harry Wilson this time for lifting a leg. Silly penalties under the ruck. Says Hanoi, looks like Willie LaRue. This time will be the man kicking it towards the corner. Oh no, now gives it to Sasha to kick for touch. They are now 5 metres out from the line. And Australia is making mistakes, says Irvin. And the question is it about to cost them? Nicely taken by Ben J. Hang on. That is a transfer in the line out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we've ever seen that before, or at least not in recent times. And Sia Khaleesi scores the try. That is innovation, ladies and gentlemen. Went to Ben Jason Dixon, who then threw it to Eben Etzebeth, who was being lifted in the line-out as well. And now it comes to the try. We need to see this again. The transfer back to Eben Etzebeth. That was cool, says Annoy. That is unique. Have we seen that before? Can anyone tell me another game that we have seen someone do that with the double transfer in the line-out? See a Khaleesi going over for the first try. The South African flag from Caitlin. Whoop whoop. Says Orenzo there. Oh, he did that move at school, says Timmy Smith. 10 minutes into the contest. 5-0 now for the South Africans. I am good to be here listening to my favourite commentator, says Clive. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu. He is currently sitting 0 from 1, and that one has gone over, so that will now make it 1 from Ducia Brew, says yours truly. Looks like synchronised swimming, says JDB. I'm glad Sasha missed one, takes the pressure off, keeping 100%. As that been Jason Dixon or Peter Steff? So both men in the starting lineup. Peter Steff Toy went to number 5 due to the late exclusion of RG Snyman, and then that brought Ben Jason Dixon into number 7 for that match, or for this match, I should say. And well, good strike, says Simon, and now they are going to be sitting 7-0 up. The South Africans, Australia lacking possession throughout the first 10 minutes of this contest, 78% in favour of the South Africans, but also lacking discipline. They've given away, I want to say 4 or 5 penalties already. Counter-ruck coming from the Australians, trying to bulldoze their way over. South Africa protecting that ball well. Why did I see Morat during the anthem? Because he is playing number 19. RG Snyman out of the lineup. Peter Steff Toy went to 5. Ben Jason Dixon went to 7. And then Morat went into 19. Hopefully that makes sense. Paul Archer come on in the second half. He should. He's off the bench. That's how it works. Kobus Reinach going back now to Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu. Nicely taken by Nola Lesio. All that original pressure did come from him having a poor kick. Filipa Dangunu now going for the chip in behind. He has not quite taken it. In fact, Kobus Reinach, fantastic take from that man. Now Colby looking for the kick in behind, looking for the 50-22, but Australia have got Tom Wright back. Here's some of the best exits from inside of the 22 throughout Super Rugby Pacific, although that one's not one of his best, and looks like Reinach is injured, ladies and gentlemen. We have got their box, of course, says Bhavani. Look at that territory, geez. And yeah, this does not look good for Kobus Reinach. I believe it was the counter ruck originally that gave him the first knock. Oh, it's his teammate. Unfortunately, Sasha Feinberg Ungome Zulu has taken down Reinach. He's sliding in. Oh, he's just hit him right in the rib cage. Sasha Feinberg Ungome Zulu, he'll have to apologise for that one. Like the commentators were saying, that's a yellow card if he wasn't on his own team. But it looks like he is still down for Kobus Reinach. Early change may need to be made if he is unable to continue in this match. They're just showing it. It's just a really hard collision. Came flying back. Feinberg hit Dangunu. He's off. That is true. And gave his intensity. Aussies came to play and says Richard there and winded, says Salah there. Yeah, Dangunu. Are we having flashbacks to that last game up against Georgia where he did receive a red card? Ungome Zulu just gave him the little rub on the head. I don't think Reinach realised who it was, but kind of gave him that rub as if to say, yep, my bad, Fuff coming on. Fuff is not in Australia. So it would be Grant Williams. Is he best mates with Grant Williams? Says Hanoi, and he is fine, says Salah. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to continue. Just got the wind knocked out of him there, which can be extremely uncomfortable. And Feinberg red card. And also one back on the bench for 70 minutes, says Gus. Now it's going to be thrown across there. Our line-out time going to the left-hand side. They're really mixing up where Chislin Colby is. That was a bit high from Hunter Paisami. Got him on the chest. I have to check that one, though. The TMO will be on it at the moment. It's gone high. Slapped back by South Africa again. Vili LaRue looking for the ball. Awkward bouncing one. Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu with a little flick pass out the back to Chislin Colby. Great step from him. Offload to Creel. Out wide. Peter Steff Toy. Now trying to bulldoze his way forward, but he's been thrown into touch by the Australians. Just to tell you how quick that back line was functioning, I was hardly able to say the player names before the ball was with the next receiver. Anyone know where I can watch the game? And in South Africa, I believe it's on Super Sport. In New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport. In Australia, it's on Stan Sport. Those are the ones that I do know. Why isn't Fussy in the team? He is in the squad. He just isn't with the side here. That's going to be the penalty now going the way of the Australians at line-out time. We have got their one back on the bench. Can I get a link to watch the full match, please? Unfortunately, those broadcasters that I mentioned, I believe, are the only real options for being able to watch these games, which is a massive shame because I feel like it should be free to air with the Rugby Championship, but that one has been kicked into touch by Noah Lolesio. Australia now starting to build up a little bit of territory, which is much needed because they've spent a majority of the first 13 minutes defending here up against the South Africans. But Matt Faisler now throwing it in. That one's not very straight. Luke Pearce has said it's all right. Rob Valentini now crashing forward at Sia Khaleesi, his opposite number for this game. Now Jake Gordon looking for the kick in behind. Looks like it's going to be chased here, but well and truly handled by Chisel and Colby. Australia getting their tactics slightly wrong at the moment. Those links are full of viruses, says Lancaster fam. Yeah, sadly, like in terms of the online options for watching, the ones that do have links normally do give you a virus of some sort on your PC, which is a big shame. Because I guess, you know, it's not ideal. What a bad kick by Gordon. Says, and went absolutely nowhere near where the Aussies would have liked. But great kick from Chisel and Colby exiting from inside of his 22 after taking the mark, although he looks frustrated. Been busy throughout this game. He's already played halfback earlier on at the scrum time. Matt Faisler now to throw this ball in. Lukan Salakaia-Lotto, he wasn't ready. He was still running backwards. Nice run from Elric Lowe as he gets slammed down 40 metres out from the Springbok line. Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu again will go for the kick up high. Nicely taken by Tom Wright. Outside of his 22, sells the dummy, goes across to Dungunu. Soldox Nishere the wrong way. Attack and run from the left winger. Gordon now going off to Harry Wilson. Australia just getting their hands on the ball for more than 5 seconds would be the biggest bonus that they can have just at this stage. Great shot coming in from Damien Dialendi on his opposite number, Hunter Paisami. Flow Rugby is showing it, says Bill Whittingham. Now rolling it back again, Carter Gordon will go back to the sky with a box kick. And this one down towards the halfway line. Well taken under the high ball from Sasha Feinberg. Ungome Zulu. Reinach asking for the penalty, doesn't receive it. Cross to Peter Steph de Toy. Charges straight at Harry Wilson. Now Reinach cross to Vili LaRue with the up and under. Looks like Colby and Creel are chasing this one. Knocked back by Australia. A little grubber in behind by Callaway. Get a bit of extra territory, but Vili LaRue, the fullback, is back. Now Ngome Zulu again going for the kick in behind. Sits up well for Hunter Paisami. In fact, it's Noah Lolesio looking for the 50-22, but Vili LaRue is back there, ready to take it, running forward. Kicks it back downfield. It's become a bit of a game of force back at the moment between the teams. Now Tom Wright inside of his 22. Will exit, gets it just outside of the 22 of the South Africans. Fantastic kick from Tom Wright there. It'll be about 30 metres out from South Africa's line now with their line out. Wales should have lost versus Queensland, says Bill Whittingham. Good morning, Hamish. If Australia performed well in this game, would that somewhat vindicate Wales? Says the language sandwich. I mean, I feel like Wales, they're in a tricky spot at the moment, aren't they? Because no matter who they play, they are a little bit undercooked, I guess you could say, in terms of the availability that they've got currently. But you know, they are a side that I think with the depth that they're trying to build, and if they eventually get that depth, they could go all right. I'm not sure why the Wallabies can challenge the box and the forwards. I'm not sure whether they can. Nice take there for Lenekitau to miss quite a bit of time recently with the injury, but he is back now for this season. Jake Gordon going across. Oh, that's a flip tackle on Carlo Tazzano, was it? I don't think it was meant to happen. It's just the way that his momentum did take him, but he ended up going up and over. Now Nola Lolesio, rush defence from Sia Khaleesi. Not a lot of space opening up for Australia on attack at the moment, but now they're starting to move the ball a lot quicker. Getting their ruck speed moving for the sake of trying to catch the Springboks defence off guard. Rush defence from Ben Jason Dixon there. Gordon goes back across to Filippo Dungunu. Two-man tackle on him by Malharba as well as Jesse Creel. Gordon back across to Lukan Salakaia-Lotto. Australia have been told to use it. They can't take too long. Looks like Gordon again is going to go for the kick. I'm not sure if this is the best option. Last time they did this, they lost the ball And this time, it's going to be no different. South Africa back in possession, although Harry Wilson getting over the ball doesn't manage to win the penalty for the Australians. Kobus Reinach back across to Elric Lowe. It's a fast pace between these two sides. 18 minutes in, and it seems like it's going to be an all-out tempo for the first half. Reinach going for the up and under of his own. And Ongunu does well to slap it back onto the side of the Australians, trying to catch the South African defence off guard by going out wide to the right-hand side. Tom Wright sells the dummy, tackled by Chislin Colby. In fact, it's Kutli Arinsa who has made that tackle. Diving in, knock on there from the Australians. South Africa back in possession with Sia Kolesi. Goes back to Sasha Feinberg. Ungomezulu, he has got Vili LaRue with him. Goes straight through. Ungomezulu breaking 2 tackles. Cut out pass to Vili LaRue. He needed to pass, but he got greedy. And he's been taken down. No penalty for the Australians here, although they're working extremely hard for it. Chislin Colby going back across. I did see Ungomezulu stay down for a little bit in back play. Chislin Colby, one more short ball. Gets it to Ben Jason Dixon. All out attack at the moment from the South Africans. Chislin Colby again tackled well by Harry Wilson. Reinach going up and across to Damien Dialende. Reinach, short ball to Kolesi. Gets the offload. Reinach. Said that man's name like 5 times in the last little moment. Rough pass from Peter Steph Toya, and they'll go back for the knock-on from the South Africans. Tom Wright hogged again. Says Hanoi, Australia not going anywhere on attack in Philly WEF, and Hamish aka the main event and there as well. But they should have been able to score there, South Africa. Everything was pointing to a try. Vili LaRue, he chose the wrong time to hang on to the ball, just a simple through the hands, and he would have been fine out wide. But Sasha Feinberg, Ungomezulu, bumps out of the tackle attempt of Alan Alaratoa. Then from there, Dongunu caught in no man's land. Got it away to Vili LaRue. That was where the pass had to go outside. But he sat there and then cut inwards, which did end up hurting the South Africans. But Sasha Feinberg looks like he might be dealing with a little bit of an injury here. Vili LaRue on his knees and not released. And Love Willie says, it was there from JDB, let's go to the box, says Rizal. And holy hell, this is a game, yeah, it's a fast-paced one. Both sides, you have to say South Africa look like they've got the advantage at the moment in terms of momentum, in terms of what they've been able to do throughout the first 20 minutes. But Australia are hanging on. And if they can get an attack of their own going soon, who knows where we'll be sitting at the halftime break. Oh, okay, South African commentator throwing a bit of shade. He was saying it's lucky that the Australians weren't awarded the penalty that they should have had for Vili LaRue on his knees, and it's also lucky that Australia, in South Africa's case, weren't awarded their penalty 50 metres down the field for not protecting the 9 or something like that, I think was the comment from the Australian commentator. Now back into the pocket, Andrew Callaway from inside of his in-goal area has to get rid of that ball. Does just that, but it will only be about 15 metres out from the line. Springboks, let's win this thing. And I think Australia have been unlucky with a few calls, but geez, both teams are here to play. Australia have good intent. South Africa showing some real attacking integrity, or ingenuity, I should say, sorry. And let's go to the box, says Mike there. And anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back with plenty more action in the near future. The next game, New Zealand versus Argentina, is only moments away, so be sure to check that out as well. Australia, though, they managed to get the turnover at line-out time. And that is crucial for Australia to be able to hang on. I believe it was Jake Gordon who got in there. Now Hunter Baisami going back across. South Africa retreating. They kick it downfield. 2 men on the halfway line. A little bit of football skills there from Sasha Feinberg, Ungomezulu. Oh, I think he just decided he wanted to kick that one in touch. I don't know if it was a 50-22 attempt, but either way, he did not strike it the way that he wanted. And it's going to now be a line out for the Australians, about 30 metres out from their own line. See, I nearly slapped Willie for something like this in another game. If that was the ABs, it would be a counter-attack. Says JDB can't wait for Vili LaRue's 100th game, which means he will retire. Rassi wants to give him a deserved swan song. It was good for South Africa, but his time is up, unfortunately. Says Roger. So I guess the big question is, who would you put then as your number 15? That's going to be knocked on by Bongi Umbanambi. Now Hunter by Sami trying to bust through. Sia Khaleesi making another brilliant tackle. Round the side of the breakdown. Tom Wright gets his offload away to Lukan Salakai Lotto. Just trying to find that gap in South Africa's defence, but it hasn't really existed till now. Hunter by Sami gets through one. But a good ankle tap by Feinberg Ungomezulu. Now Valentini sits down Eben Etzebeth. Oh, in fact, it's been Jason Dixon. That makes more sense. Now it's going to be kicked off from Noah Lulisio. I believe the advantage will almost be over. Nicely taken under the high ball for Cheslin Colby. Are you still sounding like a Kiwi and not an Aussie when you speed up, Hamish? Well done, says Bruce. Now Reinach going across to Willie LaRue again to this left-hand side. Damien Dialende, skip pass, goes to his teammate Jesse Creel. 40 metres out for the South Africans now. Reinach again, goes to Oxnische, back in behind Willie LaRue, flat ball to Elric Lowe. The big Bulls representative, Reinach, back across to Willie LaRue. There are numbers here for South Africa if they can get the passing right. Sia Khaleesi almost driven into touch, but gets his offload away to Dialende. Reinach, another offload. That is an accidental offside there for the Australians. It's also going to be the knock-on advantage against Australia. Rush defence offside for Matt Faisler. Now Reinach gets it away to Willie LaRue. Oh no, the advantage is over, they have said. Feinberg Zulu gets it to Peter Steftatoy. And that is another try now for the South Africans. 2 in a row for them in this rugby championship. Now LaRue passed at the test. Should be put into the Bulls fullback this week, and I meant 15, says Frank there. And we have got there what a try, says Sella. Yeah, great flat attack and run from Peter Steftatoy. But Sasha Feinberg Ungomezulu, even though he's made a couple mistakes, he has still managed to have some great moments throughout this contest. It's sad to see Feinberg under huge pressure. Says Tarnation, looks ominous for the Aussies, says Salah, but Peter Steftatoy busts through the tackle attempt of Andrew Callaway. And it is another try now for the South Africans. Paisami is infuriated with Callaway there. Says Razor, let's go to the box. Says Pete's my name and Alessio needs better kicking. He does. I feel like, not to be too critical, but he has made about 3 or 4 crucial mistakes here already in this match. Oh, Ngomazulu just gets it inside of the post, and that is now going to make the score 14 points to 0 after the first 24 and a half minutes. Why the hell was Colby, or did Colby throw in the scrum? Says Mother City, they decided they wanted to mix it up, put Reinach on the outside to have that pace as well. Aussie doing well, but the kicking is not good enough. Says JDB, good afternoon, Hamish, says Zion. And I have a saying, whoever scores 2 or more in the first is always likely to win. And the Box can get 50 points, says Manny M. If I cheer for the Box, this looks like Filippo Dungunu. He is done. Dylan Peach is out there now due to the injury of Dungunu. So the last thing that the Aussies wanted was an early change due to an injury. Definitely someone like a Dungunu who has got the ability of changing a game for them. Really hope we don't run away with it. Desperately want a strong Wallaby side. Plus, to be fair, a lot of our calls have gone our way. So there will be complaints after this game, lol, says Simon. That one's going to be kicked into touch by South Africa. Another line out for Australia. 40 metres out from their line. Like they've said, what do Australia need to do to get back into this contest? I feel like it's the kicking that has really let them down throughout the early stages of this match. There are just too many little mistakes that they are making, such as putting too much depth on their kicks. Such as, that's another knock on. Handling's not helping them either. Go to the box, says Tefu Dalgunu is a huge loss. He has been massive. Says Razor, can we swap Lalicio for Pollard just for today? Says Annoy. Now, ball is still there for South Africa. Kobus Reinach will be ready to kick this one downfield. Now, Luke Pearce keeping this game shifting along. It's definitely going to be taxing on the bodies as they get towards the later stages of this match. To jump on, g'day Hamish. How are the Aussie forwards going? They haven't been too bad. The scrums have been South Africa's, but the line out overall Australia hasn't been too shabby just at this point. Another knock on there from Australia. In fact, it's gone backwards. Now Rob Valentini has to jump on it. He's got Oxnische chasing after him. And poor discipline from the Aussies. And yeah, Hamish, too many errors by the Aussies. And now they find themselves 5 metres out from their own try line due to another error that they have made. Passed across to Nick Frost. I think that's almost his first carry that we have seen in this match. And big man Jason says Simon Barnes. And Agree Noise says Lancaster going to the short side again here for the Australians. Couple more meters made by Carlo Tizzano. Now rolled back by Jake Gordon. Does then put it into Dutch. Hasn't got a lot of distance on it though. South Africa all over the Aussies throughout this first 27 minutes. And Guy the Box says Aleta. And there as well. And Collar and Tie Dude says Paul Terry. Yeah, normally for the big matches, we do end up putting the suit on. I will mention the pants do not match the top half, though. Oh, Umbanambi. Is he having an injury here, or is he just gassed? He looks like he might just be tired here. Bongi Umbanambi. Taking a bit of a breather. What happened to him? I don't think anything happened to him. I think he was just tired. Okay. The doctors are saying that Bongi Umbanambi's requiring treatment. Bongi Umbanambi's going, I'm ready to throw the line out. But now the medic's saying we need to call someone over. Oh no, now it's going to be Malcolm Marks who makes his way onto the field. Okay, must have been an HIA, you would assume, for Bongi Umbanambi. Or is it just that they've decided to make that sub now? I'm not sure what that is, that it's happened. But Malcolm Marks gone on nice and early for the South Africans here. But now, it's a bit, that's a good bit of defence there from the Australians as they try and hold that ball in. Kobus Reinach going back across to Peter Steph de Toy. Springboks 35-15 victory, says Frank Vendetta. Attack and run forward from the box. Ben Jason Dixon, the Stormers. Player for the URC. Reinach goes back across to another Stormers man. Sasha Feinberg, Ungumazulu, little kick him behind there, Australia. Oh! Willie LaRue almost put it down. Okay, Willie LaRue saying to the referee, you need to check that because I did touch that ball. They're having a look anyway. I don't think they wouldn't not check that one to see if it is dead. But yeah, Willie LaRue just got that little hand down on it. It's on the line, but man, that was close to being a sneaky try. Tom Wright almost took that one a bit too casually. Russie's new tactics, Colby thrown in the scrum. Says Mother City. We have got there, sorry guys, who scored the second one. So the second try was scored by Peter Steph de Toy. And we're over 2,000 watching. That's awesome, says Nars Williams. Yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are back for every single game of the Rugby Championship. The way you pronounce the Afrikaans name, rolling your R's, almost got it. Says Royden there. And please don't talk rubbish. Come see our cardio versus Colby. Huh? And Aussie fingers are filthy. Too much stroking and knocking the ball on. Says Spider Megan. Good that Villi is making up for his mistakes. Says Jacques there, but now Sasha Feinberg, Ungame Zulu goes in behind to Damien Dialendi. And they wouldn't not check that one. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with it being that close, they were always going to have one look at it at least. Willie LaRue, a bit nervous that they weren't going to check it for him. Nice wide cut out pass there from Sasha Feinberg. Ungame Zulu now. Pace from Kurt Learens. He's going to be 5 metres out from the try line now, ladies and gentlemen. Pick and go there from Reinach. Oh, he's been flipped and Batista bomb there. That could almost... What's going to be the call here? I have no idea what's going on in this breakdown, but he ended up getting almost flipped over into a power bomb there, Kobus Reinach. Now Sasha Feinberg, Ungumaz Zulu, 10 metres out from the line. Reinach back across to Ben Jason Dixon to his Stormers teammate Franz Malharba. They are all out attack again here for SA. Ox Nisher taken down 5 metres out. Jesse Krill with the flat run 3 metres now between the box and their third try. Eben Etzebeth in behind. Ungumaz Zulu, short ball to Willie LaRue. It's the penalty. Is this a deliberate knockdown, and is it in the position of denying a certain try-scoring opportunity? Because if it is, this is probably going to be a yellow card for the Australians, which would be the last thing that they want. When you're wearing a box jersey, it doesn't really work because the green screen's green. So it kind of just blends in. Recognised by one of the greats of the game, Michael Hooper, is convinced that Sasha Feinberg, Ungumaz Zulu is going places. There's Mother City. What's up with the camera zooming in and out every 5 seconds, WTF, says Matt Will. And there as well. We want to kick on. Rassi has taken nothing for granted against a desperate Wallabies outfit. His name on the field. Haven't heard you mention him. He was injured just before the kickoff, I believe, which is why it ended up with Peter Steph Toy moving to 5 And then from there, we saw Ben Jason Dixon move into the starting lineup with Moura making his way off the bench. But they're going to be checking this one now. Okay, so Willie LaRue, it's not actually a deliberate knockdown. They're saying that it was an early tackle on Willie LaRue. He's in front, though. Okay, it's going to be a penalty against Australia here. And hold on, did I miss something to Dixon Start, who's in whose place? So he is there rather than Peter Steph-Totoy, because Peter Steph-Totoy has gone to the other position of 5 due to RG Snyman being out. Are you in a full suit? I am not, no. First top half is, the bottom half is not. And we have to win, says Rizal there. And let's go FFS, says a razor there. Oh, no. Hang on, we're going upstairs for something else. What else are we checking? Luke Pearce going upstairs, an early tackle, says Mother City. So yeah, Willie LaRue was running through ready for the pass, and then he was tackled in the process. We are going back upstairs. There's a lifting tackle. That's the power bomb that I mentioned on Kobus Reinach. I wish you're doing well with the South African names, mate, says Frank. Thank you very much, mate. And Box is right, says Royden. Sure, we'll go with that. And New Zealand is not ready for Sasha Feinberg, says Themba there. And also we have the Where Are You Now, says Rivaldo. I'm currently 30 minutes, 1 second through in this contest, if that is the question. But now, okay, so there were already 2 advantages. But yeah, in the process, Andrew Callaway picked up Kobus Reinach, which is fine. But then it's the flip here. It's as soon as Tom Wright gets in, and he does end up upside down and almost ended up in a pile driver type scenario. You doing well with the African names, or Afrikaans names, mate? Says Mother City. Right, this is going to be the best angle. How does he land in this case? Because Callaway, his head hits the ground first. This is at least going to be a yellow card, I would say, for Andrew Callaway, which is a massive one here because he's one of those players that you do not want to be losing in this contest. It's not a bad move on. Well, it's not that bad move on to play the game. We're to live stream the match in South Africa. It is on DSTV, I believe, or Supersport is your best option for being able to watch. He lifted him, meets the yellow card threshold. Callaway's not happy about it, but he will not be back out on the field for the rest of this first half now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Alan Alatal was saying, oh, come on, and the ref's gone, we know you can't do that, mate, so, you know, don't do it. I love your commentary. Let me be clear, you are better than most of Sky's commentators. Says Frank, thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. I hate this because it's obvious yellow, but it's soft and no one wants it. And on my way to work, thank you, Kiwi lads. At least I can listen to the match, says Michael. And I will mention we are also going to be covering the match that has taken place between New Zealand and Argentina. I watched properly, says Lance. In what regards? Is in with my eyes or... Like, I am slightly losing my vision, so I guess maybe I'll try and squint a bit harder so I can see what's going on. I don't think that is worth a yellow card, says Salah. Yes, correct, Super Sport is the best, but you must pay. Link not working, says Mother City, but now 5 metres out from the line. South Africa have got another opportunity to either kick for the corner or go. I would go for a scrum here. But Will Rassi, I think he'll kick for touch. Yeah, they are kicking for touch in the end. Why is he shaking his head? Yeah, at the end of the day, if you pick up a player, you are in that position of possibly giving away a penalty and maybe even a yellow card. And Andrew Callaway, for a man who has his kind of experience, you're too young for that, says Caitlin. I don't know about that. I feel like I am getting... Oh, they've done the double transition again. And line out time. Sia Khaleesi off the marks. He is within half an inch. And then Sia Khaleesi, he's knocked the ball on, or has he? No, it's a knock on from Australia. Now it's going to be the scrum for the South Africans. 5 metres out from the line. Can you help me get something off the top shelf just above the camera? Says Ben, I'm not the tall... Well, I'm not the shortest. Compared to these guys, I'm short. But, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to reach your top shelf. I just like how rugby can't be accessible to all. I agree. And lick a yellow card to match his jersey. And Sasha, very cool headed under attack and pressure. Looking good for the future, says Asher. Tell you what, he was very close to being able to score that try. And then... they're actually talking about the fact that Malcolm Marx knocked the ball on the ground. Missed the game due to work. So yeah, there's going to be Australia's scrum feed now despite the points. Box isn't playing great. Says Heaney there. And yeah, I think something that's drastically helped South Africa throughout this contest is the territory, as well as possession. Australia have hardly been outside of their own half. Here comes under by Sami with the flat run, getting up going about 3 times there. Could have ended up being the penalty, and it is for moving twice. No, in fact, it's going to actually be the penalty going the way of South Africa for a man not supporting his body weight. Thank you for the commentary. At least I can listen while sitting in hospital. Let's go South Africa, says Louisa there. Well, I hope you are hopefully better in the near future, unless, of course, you are waiting for someone. Then I do hope that they get well soon. Channel is a lifesaver, says Siabonga. Thank you very much, mate. Excellent commentary, Hamish. Yeah, Afrikaans is improving. Time to visit the motherland as Australia is just a province, says Vanny. And the box on fire, says Julian. And your video is perfect. I do not know what some are complaining about, says Frank. Listening from Auckland, glad to hear a Kiwi voice on the box game. Go the box, says Ivor. And of course, we are going to be live for New Zealand versus Argentina just around the corner as well. So be sure to check that out. But only 7 minutes remaining in this first half. So far, Australia have given away 6 penalties compared to the 2 of South Africa. Are you like Faf short, or, says Caitlin? I'll have a quick look how tall Faf de Klerk is. I don't think so, though. I think I've got a bit of a height advantage over there, man. Big scrum from South Africa. Is there a knock on? No, it's going to be the penalty again for South Africa here. Are you always the best, mate, says Daryl. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. We drink a cup of cement every morning to stay hard, says Lockin. In what regard are you staying hard? Because that could mean something else in the morning as well, couldn't it? And Box have lost in Brisbane for about 11 years, so they're playing good. Yeah, I think they're doing extremely well in terms of managing this game. They haven't really looked too threatened by this Australian side, both, says Lockin. All right, it's going to remain a yellow card here for Andrew Callaway, they have just mentioned. So that will be another 6.5 minutes remaining before he is able to make his way back out onto the field. He is 1.71 m, so I am, in fact, taller than Faf de Klerk. But I have a few less World Cups than Faf de Klerk, unfortunately. Now 6 minutes remaining, South Africa, the world champs, looking to build at scrum time. This time it will be Kobus Reinach who puts the ball in. Another massive scrum from the Bok forward pack. They're only a couple meters out. Kobus Reinach, they're trying to walk this one over there by the looks of it. Here's Reinach, dragged down just short of the line. Ben Jason Dixon looks for the offload. It's a loose ball picked up by Kutli Arunsa from a standing start. Looking to find his way through, and he has. That is very poor from the Australian defence. There might have been a bit of obstruction right at the end, but he was already pretty much through the gap anyway. Kutli Arunsa, his try-scoring prowess continues for the Springboks. And Boks haven't won Freedom Cup since 2009. Well, you're back in. I did predict South Africa to win this game, although I did predict them to win 27 points to 20. At the moment, Australia, I think they're going to struggle to get to 14 in this game. Worse defence than the Waz, says at JDB. We're just going to see the replay here. Kudley Ardenser, he just did not look like he should have been able to go through the way that he did. We're going to see it here with Ben Jason. Oh, there is a clear block from Ben Jason Dixon, to be fair, in that scenario, but I think they are going to just say it's all right. And I think he would have beaten him anyway, to be fair. I don't know why I said to be fair like 17 times in the last sentence, but to be fair, he done all right. And there, Kurtley Arnsa. And guy the box says, Mario, that kick is going to go over. 21 points to 0 now for the South Africans. And OBC, man, I got serious hangovers with that stuff, bro. Says Brank. That's still just above average for South African males, says Caitlin. I guess I am just above average then. 4 minutes remaining. And in box, running away with it. And who's Dixon on for? So he is playing rather than Peter Steph-Toy, who is playing 5. And then that is because Aji Snyman is not playing. Ardenson needs the ball more. 4 easy tries, that'll score. Who's the box number 7? That is Ben Jason Dixon for this match. Now nicely taken by South Africa inside of their own half. Penalty goes the way of Australia. Their first real chance in about 25 minutes, I would say, since we saw their last real attacking chance. And awesomeness box says Andre. And that's the thing, for Australia to have any chance in this game, they need to score before the end of the first half. I see now, I feel bad, says Irvin. This is like a 7-score versus Fiji, says Annoy. Aussie playing, I meant Fuff side, says Caitlin. And there's, to be fair, needs an Irish accent. And what does the Wallabies need to do to come back into the game? They just need some possession, to be honest. Possession and territory will take them a long way in this match. And they haven't really been able to have either throughout this contest so far. Rucks in opposition 22. Australia haven't had a single ruck in their 22, and they almost won't. Oh no, nicely set up for Hunter Paisami, flattened by Malcolm Marks, and the penalty goes the way of South Africa again. It's timing out. Is that an injury? I believe so, yes. Just before kickoff, I believe is when he was taken out of the starting side. And they're not happy at the moment. The crowd, player leaving feet penalty goes against Australia again. Which I think you and I could take Fuff in a fight if we jumped him in the pub, says Justin. Oh, you do all the work, I'll just commentate it. How about that? This ref is weird. Why is that a penalty? Says Annoy. And we have good there, and that's without the bomb squad, says Yo the Day on South Africa, the best team. Oh, hasn't found touch there for the South Africans, so counter-attack now coming for Australia. Noah Lalesko, bit of a hospital pass, but Tom Wright manages to get through one tackle attempt till he's dragged down by Eldrick Lowe. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Now Lukan Salakai Lotto, Wallabies are done for. They need the Campese or Israel Folau. Now, nicely done here for Australia. They've got themselves the penalty advantage. Can't make out via commentary, Hamish, but how's Sasha game thus far? He had a really strong start. He missed his first kick, so now not 100% accuracy at international level anymore, but he's got a lot of potential in that 10 jersey. Commentary is awesome. Thanks, Lifesaver. Go the box, says David. I'm the official teammate for Hamish's fights, says Caitlin. An interesting game today, says Rodetta there. But anyone who is new, of course, be sure to leave a like. You do the like, the work, I'll commentate, says SS. And Fuff is prettier than most of our girls in New Zealand. Probably got better here too, to be fair. But now, I'm saying to be fair far too much. Every time I say to be fair, I need people to yell at me. That referee is disappearing. Paul Williams was just teleporting, or at least trying to put on his invisibility cloak. Nicely thrown in by the Australians. Now, nice pass from Carlo Tazzano, gets it away to Rob Bellatini. If Aussie want any chance in this game, they have to score before the end of the first half. Lukan Salakai Lotto, tackled low by Peter Steftatoi, his opposite number for this match. Hunter Paisami, dragged down by Feinberg Ungomezulu. He's made a lot of tackles throughout this first half. Oh, that's head-on-head contact between Jesse Creel and a player. That's a bit of contact. Toa driven towards the touchline by Colby, who, in the process of making the tackle, made a noise. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Australia still in possession. This is the most phases they have had throughout this whole match. Now Rob Valentini going back on the inside, 10 metres out from the line here for the Wallaby. Short ball to Harry Wilson. Box by 40, to be fair, his mission there. That is the halftime siren, still playing with 14 here, the Wallabies. Can they get over? They need one if they want any chance of coming back in this game. Big shot coming in from Ebony Etzebeth. Well shut down. Counter-attack from Sia Khaleesi. Now offloaded up. It's a knock-on from Australia. And that is now going to be half-time in this contest. 21 points to 0. A fantastic first half for the South Africans here. Zimbabwean watching your commentary in South of France. Thanks very much, mate. You're a lifesaver and a legend, says Jason. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciate it. We are here for every single game of the Rugby Championship, as well as every single November international that we can cover. South Africa, some exciting games that are coming up. Who is your first half player of the match? Ooh. I mean, Peter Steftatoi has been quite busy, but I'd probably say Sasha Feinberg Ungomezulu, to be honest, or maybe Chiselin Colby for what he's been able to do. It's box office rugby, and he's really a lifesaver. And from Cape Town, says Mother City, and to win an away game, travelling to Australia as no small feat. Says after that score could have been higher. Exactly right. Australia just haven't had possession. They haven't had territory. And they haven't really been in this contest as of yet. South Africa, they have been dominant. And like you said, they might be a little bit disappointed that they haven't been able to score more points than they've got. But, you know, great commentary to be fair, Hamish, says Lionel there. And Cheslin, says Rogan is first half man of the match. Nice to see you again. Hi from Kazakhstan, says Jonathan there. Welcome in. And to be fair, equals tequila shot. I'll be on the floor before the end of the game. I can tell you that right now. We can read the comments, spend more time on commentating, but cheers, brother, says Wayne Hunt. Well, currently we are half-time. We are about to get some stats about what is the summary of this first half, and wait till the box meet the ABs, says Manny M. Reinach having a good game. Yeah, he's been strong so far, Kobus Reinach. I feel like he had a few early nerves and a few early jitters because, you know, he did pass it to Ebenetsbeth where he was almost in front of him, but other than that, he has looked very strong. So sad I can't watch the rugby. The good news is the highlights will be up on YouTube after the game, though. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. To be sure is very close to be fair. And to be fair, it is a real challenge for the young Australian team. I'm watching live in Namibia. Go the Bock, awesome commentary, says Grumpy. Thank you very much, mate. And the Box and the ABs need them to be better. And we have got their very entertaining first half. Yeah, fast-paced, all-out action between those two sides. It is going to be, I assume, a similar tempo for the second half. Whereas George does not care about this channel anymore, says Matthew Lang. He'll be probably working and watching the game later on between the All Blacks and the Aussies, or sorry, the Argentines. And I want to see the Wallabies get a try. They deserve it. And so happy that this match started minutes after I clocked out of work. Go the Bock, says Foxglove. And only Joe's third game. He's on a win streak. Yeah, 3 matches in a row for the Australians so far in Joe Schmidt's career. He's now going to have to come back from 21 down, which is the kind of margin you're not used to as a coach. But see whether or not they can somehow get back into it. This is my favourite way to watch rugby. I mute my TV with some music and then pause Hamish's commentary until it's synced with the game. Says Dylan. Thanks for the commentary. Love it, Colin from South Africa. But anyone who is new, like I mentioned, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You make up for us not being able to watch the game, to be fair, says Richard. I'm going to have to put to be fair on a shirt, aren't I? I'm looking through at this first half, metres gained, 271 for the Springboks compared to the 74 for the Australians. 21 defenders beaten for South Africa compared to 7 of Australia. 5 clean breaks to 1. More offloads coming for South Africa and also more tackles having to be made by Australia. They have missed 21, but they have made 79 throughout that first half. Oh, what do you see of South Africa, bro? Says James. I think that at the moment there's a lot going on in terms of tactically. They seem to have quite a few different looks that they want to give the Australians. Definitely that double man jumping line out. Something we haven't seen in a very long time. By the sounds of it, it happens in South African school rugby. We have the atrocious and biased commentary by the Aussie commentators. Says Sean, they always are, unfortunately, which is one of the reasons why we have quite a few people who mute the TV so that they can hear us. Because, like, unless you're going for Australia, the Aussie commentary is quite hard to listen to because everything is, like, against Australia, if that makes sense, in terms of, like, if anything that they do wrong, they'll go, no, that's, like, the world's against them. And why Australia so bad? Good to see you in action again, says Uno Bear, and thanks for the video and your top commentary. Heavy Bot fan in Estonia. We also had someone from Germany a little bit earlier on. I did see it's going very quick at the moment from Heinz. And also we have got there is a problem with the Springbok Maul from Grant in their chat as well. How can that be legal, that double man line out? So it's a good question. It's pretty much the gist of it is your first guy's jumped and then they've passed to the next guy who has then been lifted up. I'll be honest. Is it something that sides could use to their advantage, you know? If you're just in the middle of the field and you want to delay yourself, your attack a little bit longer, could you just lift up a man in the middle of your back line? And then, you know, no rule says it's illegal. Exactly right. Like, it's one of those ones that, like I mentioned after it was scored, World Rugby will now be on to that. They'll say, hey, we'll have to get rid of that because South Africa have found a little bit of a sneaky way of doing it, but it was effective. Scored the try. I love you, to be fair, says Christina. Thank you very much. My 3-year-old is in hospital and he loves rugby, so he can listen with me, says Louisa. Hopefully he is going to get well soon for your 3-year-old. Who's his favourite player? Do let me know. We have got there enjoying your punditry from South Africa, says Johan. And also, how's the tip tackle not a red card? Cobus was thumped on his head with several players falling on him, says Burning Lash. Yeah, it did look pretty bad in the moment, and you know, he's probably lucky not to have a red, but like I said earlier on, if he had, you can't really complain because at the end of the day, if you tip a guy up on his head, it's going to hurt. not just the player, but also your team, because you'll be down. Show them Bok. Says a letter there. That's why I like Hamish. He's very neutral. Love. Says Frank there. Yeah, we have got the game between New Zealand and Argentina just around the corner as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Loving it. Mark Barrett from Malawi. A good pronunciation of the Afrikaans names. Says Mark, thank you very much, mate. I think you might be one of our first viewers from Malawi. Possibly. I can't think of anyone else who's watched from Malawi off the top of my head. Come on, show us the game. It's currently half-time, but also due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube and sadly banned for 3 months. So that is why we are unfortunately unable to show it. But I can recommend a few options for being able to watch it, depending on what country you're in. Aussie's always biased. Good chance they start a fight, get slammed there too, sore losers. There's Uni there. And how's it, Grumpy Gramowski? And also, how would you rate performance in Olympics, winning 6 golds and 15 medals total? I think New Zealand have done very well. I haven't been following as well with the South African medals, so do let me know, ladies and gents, where have South Africa got their main medals? I know that they got the bronze in the Olympic sevens for the men. Springboks showing their class, double line out, perfectly legal. There's Mangwaba there. Hopefully I said that correctly, but I think I may have messed it up. Kyler said go the Bok. And that line-out move is legal because the ball didn't travel outside the 5 metre. The ball was still in the air. Says Grant there, and please shout out Gareth. He's currently in the wilds of Africa in a tree house listening to you and surrounded by lions. Well, fingers crossed for Gareth, of course. And definitely Eben, Bongi, Colby, and Sia. Really thanks for the awesome commentary, says Louisa. Well, they've all been pretty involved throughout this game. Chisel and Colby been looking very strong. They're talking with a bronze medalist from the BMXing, Natalia Diem. I'm not sure how to say that last name. You pronounce the Afrikaans names better than some Afrikaners, says Christina. And also, what was the first half stats? Well, you had a few of them before, but overall, the main stat that I want to look at is possession. And at the moment, 59% in favour of the South Africans. So territory is probably about the same, if not maybe a little bit higher. And that really hurts for the Australians, because if they can't get their hands on the ball and they can't get much time inside of the South African half, like, it's going to be one of those ones that the scoreline could get even worse. The South African commentator started that first and exactly the same, although to be fair, they're worse, says Nicolene. And also, how much did you enjoy that line-out move near the start? I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was innovation from the South Africans, even having Chisel and Colby with the scrum feed near the start of the contest. We have got there, the yellow card was actually a joke if you take into consideration head-on-head contact. Reinert comes down on his head, player safety, says Frank there, and it's 38-30 for the Boks now. Go the Boks, says Ludwig there. And also go the Bok, we are the champs, says Debbie. And there as well. Second half, I would say, is only maybe 2 minutes or so away from starting up, ladies and gentlemen. Looking through at the benches in this contest, it is going to be Josh Nassar, James Slipper, and Zane Ungor to come off the bench as the Australian front row. Jeremy Williams and Luke Raymer, the 2 forward replacements, only going with the 5-3 split in this matchup. Tate McDermott, Tom Liner, and Dylan Peach as the number 23, although he has already made his way onto the field. That was due to the injury that we saw of Philippe Ndangunu, and I feel like that is one that I would argue is one of the most crucial injuries that they could have had throughout this game, because he is such a talent and he does bring so much to this Australian side that without him now, it just becomes even more of an uphill battle than it already is. But South Africa, for their bench, they have got Malcolm Marx, who has already made his way onto the field. Alongside that, they have also got Gerhard Steenekamp and Vincent Koch. Ben Jason Dixon, he started this match. Moura is actually the number 19. Mako van Staden at 20. Kwagga Smith, 21. Grant Williams, I should say, at 22. And then Andre Pollard there as the number 23. So plenty more talent to come off the bench later on in this game, ladies and gentlemen, for both of the sides. As a Bok fan, I want to be humbled. The Abbies make for great rugby. Says Dawn there in South Africa, watching from Dubai, cooking chicken while listening to you. Oh, I love some chicken. To be honest, I'll have to try and get a quick snack in between the 2 live streams before New Zealand play Argentina, which we will be covering on the channel as well, ladies and gents. So if you are new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. This win will go well with our Olympic medals of last night, says De Bulk. And Tizano marks, what a massive collision, says Annoy. And yeah, I don't think I've seen as much as Carlo Tizzano as I thought I would. Maybe that is because, like, in the nicest way possible, he is a very generic-looking player. Like, he doesn't stand out as a guy with a massive afro, or he doesn't have, like, red hair or anything like that, but he just goes about his work. I'm sure in the tackling stats later on, when we look at it, he would have had quite a few. What time's the AB's game? Thanks. It is taking place at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time, but we are starting 20 minutes prior. Does Steve Hansen still think the Boks are playing boring rugby? Says Albert. I don't personally know Steve, so I can't really ask him, but I'm sure someone will at some point. How much we want to see the pants? No, you don't. 10 points to the commentator. What a great guy. Thanks. Says Christo. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. You'll be in here for this match. Like I said, anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are currently only sitting a total of 130 away from 51,000. So if you do want to help us get there, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have got 2,900 people watching at the moment, so please do help us get there. We are here for all of the Rugby Championship. We've got plenty more action coming up in the near future. We have got everyone should find someone who speaks as lovingly about them as Hamish does about chicken, says Caitlin. It's a match made in heaven, isn't it? Can we see what is happening? Sadly, due to YouTube's licensing policy, we aren't able to show any match footage or audio due to copyright. But we will be doing the play-by-play as soon as the second half does start back up, maybe, says Roselle. Nothing what's to play on my TV. It just says something wrong. Says Rashida there, and 13 minutes before work, 40 minutes of rugby. My boss doesn't like the odds. Says Grumpy, and thanks for the effort every weekend. Hamish, you are a true legend. Says Nico, thank you very much, mate. They are just showing New Zealand on the telly. They are going to be playing up against the Argentines for the next game of the Rugby Championship. At the moment, the way that it sits, though, the Springboks have got themselves a bonus point. Is Fussy injured? I don't think so. I think they've just gone more with Willie LaRue as the option. But I would like to see Apalele Fussy get some sort of chance in the future. You deserve the best. Should have 100k by now. Subscribe, people. We love Hamish. Says Uno Bear. And I also need to get to work, says Speedy. It is a tricky one, isn't it? It's a rough time for this game to start. Normally we see it a little bit later. I love to hear you pronounce, or how you pronounce LaRue and my maiden name, says Christina. And to be fair, this is the best rugby channel. Thank you very much, the viewer. Greatly appreciated. You'll hear all the pundits saying how boring the Springboks game plan is. This game is on fire, says Raymond. Now, they're showing the hype package for Israel Adesanya versus Dracus du Plessis. That is next weekend. New Zealand versus South Africa, taking place in Perth, the same location or the same area of Australia that we are going to get to see the matchup taking place between Australia and South Africa. Match 2 of the Rugby Championship. Got a bit of Aussie country going on at the moment by the sounds of it. I'm crying, can't find a working live stream, says Dion there. The good news is the highlights will be up on YouTube. I know it's not quite the same as a live match, but yeah, at least there will be the highlights later on. I'm going to listen to you on the big screen. And Joe learning that flapping during the week doesn't work on the mental state of the Focus Bot group. And Drekis going to win, says Declan there. And hi, Hamish says night out. I have a question, ladies and gents. Would you want us to do a watch-along for the UFC with Dracus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya? There are a lot of other New Zealanders on that card. There might be one other South African, but a lot of Australians on that card as well. So yeah, if you want to see us do a watch-along similar to what we're doing here for Dracus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, do let me know. And yes, bro, says Itchy. And I believe it would actually be about the same time, unfortunately, in terms of the time zone as this game. Please, says Irvin. And yes, says Andre. Yes, says Declan. Nah, Rugby, says Night Out. We would still be doing the Rugby Championship next week as well, I should say. Has Aussie gone to sleep? They've struggled throughout that first half, I think is the nice way of putting it. But the second half now just about to start. Australia kicking this one off from left to right. And they need a big comeback here. And it's a knock-on straight away from the Aussies. 2 knock-ons. Great start to the half for the men in the green and the gold. These teams are both in green and gold, actually. I should clarify, Australia dropped the ball twice. Thanks for the commentary, Bok. I must just keep on. Says Johan there, and for sure USC. There's plenty of flair in the Bok rugby. They just pick and choose when to deploy it at international level. Don't know why people call it boring, says Asher. And South Africa don't have a bonus point yet. They only have 3 tries, not 4. Although, if they change the Rugby Championship, I know it used to be that you needed 3 more tries than your opposition to get a bonus point in the Rugby Championship. I'll just quickly clarify that and make sure that that is correct. Hi to my sister Shirley in Brisbane. Freezing here in Cape Town, says Michael. Yes, please do the Drekkers fight. I'm watching from South Africa, says Rhea in there as well. But now it's going to be a scrum feed, successful from the Springboks. This one wheeling around a little bit, so we will have another reset. We have got green and gold versus green, or gold and green. And Australia is yellow, not gold, says Dylan there. Oh, they're almost more orange, aren't they, when you look at their kit? I know that since Cadbury became the sponsor, they slowly got more and more looking like an Oompa Loompa. In terms of the colour, I should say. Not the height. They got some tall players too. And the Boks have great backs as well as traditional forward power. And geez, I missed first half overslept, says Ruth. And also I'm watching from South Africa, says Xander. Looks like James Slipper now making his way onto the field. That is for Isaac Kailia. Didn't have his best game, Lemons, says Irwin. And how good is Sasha? He has been strong throughout this game so far. He does certainly look like a great option at 10 or 15 or wherever they do want to put him. Does Australia really have more sheep than people? I don't know about Australia. They've got a lot of kangaroos. We have more people or more sheep than people here in New Zealand, I believe. So Australia might actually be the same. 1 point for scoring 3 or more tries than your opposition. So yeah, Australia currently have conceded the bonus point the way that it currently sits. And good stuff, Bok. Love that innovated line out, says Clive. And South Africa for the win, says Xander. And game plan is not boring. Points show it, says Sleep and Sounds. Thoughts on the Western Force? They'll be interesting next year. See how they start to develop. They've got a few good new signings as well. Oh, they've just put up the bonus point there for the South Africans. But 41 minutes through, Ruth, welcome, says Caitlin. South Africa. Their scrum has dominated. Nick Frost looks like he's run into a brick wall. His face has been squashed with the amount of tape on it. And it must be a good breakfast in the land of South Africa. Would be lovely if you can do the Drekkers fight, says Johan there. Yeah, I think that will be the plan to do the watch along for that card. Forgot how to speak. That card, to be honest, is the one that I've been looking forward to the most out of all of like UFC recently, even more than UFC 300. Big scrum again. They're being told to use it now, though, South Africa. So they did get the advantage. I was about to say, I think after they've been told to use it, they probably can't win the penalty advantage, but then they did. Aussies maybe missing South Africa in Super Rugby, and it shows. Says SS, and not a good morning to be an Aussie fan. Says Robert, and Box should win the comp this year. Says Hanoi there. They're just showing Dylan Beach going up for that ball off kickoff, though, and knocking it on. That's where all of the momentum started for the South Africans, and they will now kick this one down towards the 22. In fact, no, it's going to be about 40 metres out now for the South African line out. Next game that is going to be taking place will be New Zealand versus Argentina. It is starting in less than an hour and a half. We will be live on the channel for that match. Malcolm Marks now to throw this ball in for the South Africans, overthrown, but it goes straight to Cheslin Colby. It's hit hard by Dylan Peach. South Africa, they've had brilliant ball retention throughout this game. I just realised something. If Kamala Harris... Now we have got the Tour Australia. And we have got, as well, my team says Solomon, who you got winning that fight. It's going to be a good one. I feel like both of them have the potential of winning it, to be honest. So that's what's going to make it so good. And hopefully it does deliver. South Africa have been dominating in the scrum. They certainly have been. And in the breakdown, they have been extremely strong as well. Eben Etzebeth now running straight at Hunter Paisami. I think there might have been a knock on there from Etzebeth, but it's going to go back for a penalty for not releasing. Okay, they were a little bit unlucky there, the Aussies. I think Etzebeth did knock that ball on. The Aussie commentators are not happy at the moment. They would never be in this scenario. We're going to see the replay here. Yeah, lost the ball there, Etzebeth, and then Paisami penalised for playing the ball on the ground. Is Dylan Peach from from New Zealand? Not too sure. Hamish sounds like his real job might be an auctioneer. Maybe. Etzebeth, he will be happy with that one, though. May the scrum be with you. Now Malcolm Marks getting ready to throw this one in. Better stiff the toy. They do find him, although it's actually found the Australians here. Sits up at Andrew Callaway, a non-successful line-out for the South Africans. South Africa has always been yellow, not gold, says Nico. It's going to be kicked towards the touchline. And, oh, it stayed in the field of play till it did bounce again. We have got there, you all thought all that screen for Australia a recap. Yep. We know what they don't know, says Rudy there. And I'll say, hey, Hamish, bad day for the Aussies, says Heidi. Yeah, not exactly the start to their rugby championship that they would have been after. Now, ball's going to be thrown in by Malcolm Marks. Ooh, it's almost stolen again. South Africa in possession. Kobus Reinach going across to Sasha Feinberg. Zulu tackled on the halfway line. Australia win themselves the penalty there. Carlo Tazzano, the debutant, gets into the breakdown and wins. I heard Cape Town is cold. Johannesburg is beautiful this morning. No Pollard in this game, please, says Andre, and Aussie commentators are never happy. That is very true. Is it true that the Bok forwards train with Drekis du Plessis? I'm not sure. I know that the All Blacks did something with Israel Adesanya, and also Drekis du Plessis for the first match up against the Irish did end up having a bit of a moment on the mic before the game started. Any chance of getting the game clock on your metadata in the future? I have got the one there with 47 minutes, but in terms of the proper game clock, I would love to, but the editing software or the streaming software I have don't actually have that option yet. I'm hoping they add it at some point, though. I've asked them a few times, but they never say that they're going to. South Africa, green and gold, says Kyle Hansen there. Now Harry Wilson, tackled well. Much needed position coming here for the Australians. And Rekis is friends with a couple of Springbok players. Now Gordon, going across to Lena Kitau, tackled 22 metres out. Gordon again goes to Rob Valentini. That's a big gap for the Australians. Big shot coming in from Franz Malaharba though. Loose ball picked up by Aussie. They just haven't been able to make any metres. It's a Beth. Oh, he's given away the penalty in the breakdown, or at least the advantage. They will go back and they will now give it as the penalty to Australia. Off to sell organic veg at our community market. Eat your veg, Hamish, says Francois. Thank you very much for the advice. And come on the box, says Mark. And Aussie crybabies, let's hope they lose by a lot, says Bruce. And at the moment, if nothing changes, you will get your wish, because 21 points in the favour of the South Africans isn't exactly the greatest scoreline that they could have been asking for. Do the watch along, please, says Evor. As for Drekis versus Adesanya, I have to decide whether or not to just do the main fight or whether to do pretty much the whole card on the channel. But the good news is, because the games are taking place at decent hours here in New Zealand for the Rugby Championship, we will also be able to do just that. Great run from Kurtley Ardenser. Gets the offload to Reinach. Got a lot of pace, but couldn't quite get the offload away as soon as he hit the ground. Eldrick Lowe, though, was there as first receiver. Now, Peter Stefter Toy, 40 metres out from the line. Ballatini slams him into the turf. Eldrick Lowe again. Cross to Krill. Oxneshare involved, gets it away to Malcolm Marks. Now ball on the outside to Eben Etzebeth, the big man flying down the wing like he's a winger, but his foot's just gone into touch. Cornflakes and brandy and coke, starting my rugby weekend in style. Let's go, Bocky. There's Lloyd there, and what you got in the coffee roof. And we have got there, go the Bocky, and also Book Gok, Go Bok, I think that is, from Ronaldo. And just the main fight, mate, says Jazza. And there as well. Yes, South Africa having to try and defend from only 5 metres out from their own line, and they did absolutely phenomenally. Make them 35 metres in just one phase. That is the big difference. Australia could have 35 phases to make 35 metres at the moment. The way that they're going, South Africa, it's only taken them one. I love Kobus at starting 9, says Smoking RSA every day. Kick downfield, South Africa in possession again. Vili LaRue going back across to Kurtley Ardenser. Skip pass goes out to Jesse Krill. Now another offload. Vili LaRue goes back across to Siakolesi. Kicked him behind from Sasha Feinberg. Zulu. Oh, miscommunication from the Aussies at the back. Oh, the mark was called and then he dropped it. Very lucky for Tom Wright that didn't end up being play on. But yeah, he took the mark. Oh, did he call the mark, though? I didn't hear too much. Beers for breakfast, Leka, says Marnus. It's about time for another Bok try. Or Bok 3, says Robert. Now, line out throw here for the South Africans. They will only be 25 metres out. Bad communications, Aussie here. That whole time when they were running at the same ball, it just looked like they were going to collide. And then they did. So, yeah, miscommunication out there on the field. Just not quite on the same page at the moment here for the Australians. Thrown in by Malcolm Marks. Evan Etzebeth takes it, gives it off to Sia Kolisi. Again, into the hands of Arendse, who has already scored 1 try. Hamish Witchbok is looking the best, doing the most work. I think Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu has been strong. Peter Steph Toy has been a workhorse in that forward pack as well. Now Oxney working away quietly for the Boks. Damien Delene. Also Kobus Reinach, I think, has looked really, really strong in this contest. Counter-ruck coming from the Australians. Reinach gets the offload. Gives it to Valentini. Well, I jinxed him there, didn't I? Kicked him behind. Big man Nick Frost chasing after the ball. Willie LaRue jumps on it. Frost on the ball, and he's going to be cleaned out by Damien Dialende. But South Africa only 5 metres out from their line now. A lot of pressure on. But last time they were in this position, they made about 40 metres. There we go again. Malcolm Marks with the line break. Tackle 15 metres out from the line. They've got there Sasha looking like a Springbok that has at least 50 caps here. He's looking composed. Maybe a couple early nerves for Ngome Zulu, but other than that, he's just been on point with the way that he's been playing. But 25 metres out from the line now. Looks like Grant Williams is not too far away from making his way onto the field. James Slipper, this looks like an injury for him as well here. Some sort of, I would say maybe, is it shoulder? He's kicking his legs anyway. James Slipper, he's not too happy about it. You're looking fantastic. Big day, All Blacks, and water covers about 70% of planet Earth. The Springboks cover the rest, says Jason. So Ranaki has been taken from the field. Slipper got one in the nuts, says Annoy. Sasha has the chance to be the next Carter, and more tries, guys, show them how to play rugby, says Babe. Australia might not have a score. They are making the Boks work hard for their tries, says Bianca. When Quaka comes on, all hell will break loose at the breakdown. And that's the thing, the 6-2 split is still well and truly in effect. They have still got Mako van Staden. They have still got Salman Morat. They've still got their 2 props to make their way onto the field. The only change that they've made in the forward pack is actually Malcolm Marks at this point. And here comes the bomb squad, says Glenn Woods. Now it looks like Josh Nassar will have his first line-out throw of the day. Hi, Kiwi lads. Fantastic commentary. Joseph Wallace in South Africa. Thank you very much, mate. And Williams going to run circles around these Aussies who smoke an RSA every day. And something when asked earlier on about Australia, what they need to do better, I would also like to add those missed tackles are hurting them so badly. When they've got South Africa under pressure, they then miss a tackle that then puts a gap the size of South Africa for them to be able to run through. But now going off to this left-hand side, skip pass for the Australians. Here comes Dylan Peach, smashed in the tackle by Peter Steph Toy. Short ball, Valentini. They're only 10 metres out at the moment from the line. There's an advantage against Damien Dialende. Come on, guys, says Alejandria. And also, it's going to take a while for the Wallabies to click out of that Australian rugby mentality, kicking away far too much possession. Can't win a game without possession of the ball. Now broken tackle there. Tom Wright lined up by Kurtley Arendse. Now Gordon thought about the offload, and they will now go back for the original penalty. Looks like he fell quite awkwardly there. Jake Gordon looks in some discomfort. And Australia never recovered after Folau got booted. And anyone reckon Colby's going to get a try? He's been close, to be honest. New Box got a great time to start. They can't help but shine, surrounded by top-class players, says Uno Bear. All that man is in his budgie smugglers, the Springbok underwear. Now another line-out throw for Australia. They will be 5 metres out from the line. South Africa, they have scored 3 tries throughout that first half, but we have not seen a try for either of these teams throughout the second half, the first 12 minutes that have taken place. Harry Wilson claiming that one nicely. Rolling maul for the Australians. If they get told to use it once, from there, they do have to use it pretty much instantly. Right, once and go is the call there. Luke Pearce, Jake Gordon, great pickup from Peach, although I think he's then ended up putting it down. Yes, he has. And it's another error from the Australians. They're just stacking up at the moment. That is for sure my strongest team ever. And watching the Dolphins. Cheers, Brian, enjoying the commentary and particularly the pronunciation of the Afrikaans names. You are an honorary South African. Cheers, Miles. Which half are they in? They are currently just out from South Africa's line, but they will have the scrum 10 metres from their own line in this one. There's Evan Etsebev just causing problems. Getting those fingers on the arms of Gordon. Try and disrupt it. It looks like now he's got his boot off. Evan Etsebev trying to adjust it. Having a chat with one of the medics at the moment. Looks like now Frans Malhabra and Oxney will both make their way from the field. That will bring Vincent Koch and Gerhard Steenekamp out there for the last 26 minutes of this matchup. But the next game, like I mentioned, it is just around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be the matchup between New Zealand and Argentina. We are going to be live for that contest as well. It's a slightly better start time for you guys in South Africa. If you are new, be sure to stick around. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are only 63 away from 51,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us get there, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're back for every game of the Rugby Championship. As many November internationals as we can, including South Africa, the All Blacks, Australia, Argentina, England, Ireland, you name it. We are going to be covering those games on the channel as well as the URC, which is starting up relatively soon. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one as well. But now, crowd, tell you what, it almost looks like there are more South African supporters in the crowd than there are Australian supporters at the moment. Go AB, subscribe. And just subscribe, says Geraldo. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, they are just showing all the Springbok supporters in the stands. I honestly do think there are more South Africans. And they've got the big sign, he's in your head, Rassi, 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 in the crowd as well, across about 10 different signs. What time is Argentina versus New Zealand game in South Africa? So South African time, that will be 9:05 a.m. kickoff. So less than an hour away from the start of that contest. But even Etzebeth has made his way from the field. First person that he looks to after handshaking with all of the coaches, he looks straight at RG Snyman. So I feel like he's still got that little bit of a concern whether or not his teammate is all right. Whereas the subscribe link, it is the red button underneath the video or underneath the stream. That one going to be another penalty going the way of the South Africans with Luke Pearce and early eager birds. Says Jane there. And Aussies don't like rugby union. Says Dylan, and to be ahead and to finish two different things. Says Mark. Yeah, front row standing up. Alan Alatoa, he's had a frustrating day because no matter what he's been able to do at scrum time, I don't think he's won a single scrum for his side other than the ones that Australia have actually had the feed for. It looks like this game has been played in South Africa. Says Makanara say every day. And can you do the Edinburgh games? We will have some Edinburgh matches that we do cover on the channel. Now, what's the penalty count? I believe that is now about 10 against Australia compared to maybe 4 against South Africa or 5 against South Africa at the moment. Hopefully we do get to see that number in the very near future. But Malcolm Marks, another stolen line out. Jeremy Williams has 2 cracks at catching that ball, drops both of them, but it's gone backwards. And now Dylan Peach for the Australians in possession just inside of their own half. Hunter Paisami goes across. Just the defence from South Africa has been immaculate. Either that or Australia's attack has been one-dimensional because there just hasn't really looked like any chance of breaking through until now. Numbers on the outside for the Australians. Lukan Salakaya Lotto moves into the 22. Australia protecting that ball well. Noel Alessio goes back to Hunter Paisami. Had a bit of a juggle of the ball. Does straight away slow down that Aussie attack. Harry Wilson, the inside ball from Noel Alessio. Back across to the left-hand side, retreating there was Hunter Paisami. I don't think he was ready for that pass. Now Gordon going across to Tom Wright. Tries to step. He will be tackled by Grant Williams, a player who recently made his way onto the field. Rob Valentini. Peter Steptoy, though, trying to get over that ball. Isn't quite able to get that turnover. That's a deliberate knockdown from the South Africans. No, it's just a knockdown. Or knock on, I should say. There's the Springboks. We need to punish the Aussies for kicking us out of Sansa, says Jeffrey. Those South African guys in Oz would be wearing Australian jerseys if Oz have won the World Cup. Says Uno Bear. Springboks will have to be more clinical against the All Blacks. Says Gerhard, and we aren't too far away from those two matches taking place. Of course, next week we are going to see the Australians in action once again. They will be going head-to-head with the South Africans. That game kicking off at 11:45 a.m. South African time on Saturday, so a lot nicer kickoff time for you guys over there. But Siya Kolisi now will make his way from the field. That is for Marco van Staden, who makes his way on. A big cheer coming from the crowd as he makes his way off the park. We have got there a 1-0 score in this half so far. I feel like it's interesting because both sides, I feel, have had some great chances to score. It's just they haven't quite been able to do so. Proudly South African, says Luna in there, and Abra says Hugo. Now, Quagga Smith here is onto the field for Eldrick Lowe, who hasn't had the biggest game. I don't think he's quite had the performance that some people were hoping for, but still very early on in his Springboks career. Perhaps he gets that start next week to really start to find his feet. Now, scrum feed, Australia in position, 25 metres out from South Africa's line. Bro, why are you wearing a suit? Says Wayne. Why aren't you wearing a suit, Wayne? Is the better question. Now, quick hands from the Australian going out to Andrew Callaway. This is his first run, I believe, throughout this whole game. Almost stripped by Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu as well. So just constantly South Africa putting on that pressure. Gordon going back across to the left-hand side to Rob Bellatini, looping him behind. It is now going to be Leneki Tau. Manages to bump out of one challenge. Gordon back across to Rob Bellatini. Good shot coming on him by Sasha Feinberg. Ungome Zulu. Now Gordon back to the right again. Harry Wilson passes it up to Jeremy Williams. And South Africa get themselves the penalty. What time will Drekas fight be happening? I believe South African time, that will be probably around the same time as when this one does start, like this game. So probably around 6:30 a.m., somewhere around there will be when Drekas is fighting, but that will be on Sunday morning rather than Saturday morning, I believe. And clean out hard, says Mr. Holland. We have got there, don't get too excited, Amish. Aussie's got this one. And also we have got there because he's professional, says Justin there. Looks cool, bro. Says Wayne, and I'm in Cape Town, and my son is at the game. He says hands down more South Africans at the game than Aussies. Yeah, it seems like South Africa have really brought the atmosphere to Australia for this game, and I hope it's the same at Optus Stadium. It's a fantastic stadium to play at, whether that is rugby, whether that's cricket. How much time is left in this game? Currently 21 minutes remaining. And Hamish in the second half stats says, Ryan, still more possession for the South Africans, but not as much as they had in the first half. First half they had 59. Jeremy Williams almost just got his neck broken. Old mate was upside down. Be careful, says Luke Best. That's a great statement, Luke. I feel like he'll really listen to you there. And we have got there, the timers on the screen. Says Mother City. And we love the suit, at least the top half, says Caitlin. Yeah, the bottom half's not looking as professional. Sounds like I'm not wearing pants. I have some form of bottom half on, I should clarify. Come on, Springboks, use your speed out wide. And Sia or Eben might be in the corner of Drekas for the fight, says Gerhard. Springboks have just won 3 tests versus the Wallabies in Brisbane, 1956, 1971, and 2013, and they are on their way to making a little bit of history for themselves in this contest. Now, Grant Williams goes short ball. Here comes the big run of Quagga Smith. Going to be the penalty advantage in favour of the South Africans again here. 5 metres out from the line. Williams manages to get the penalty advantage. Malcolm Marks only 3 metres out now. Williams looking to the left-hand side. Peter Steph du Toit pins his ears. Oh, he doesn't reach out though. Williams goes out wide. Oh, Colby may have stepped on the touchline. In fact, it's Ardenson on that side. Billy LaRue is pointing to one of the referees as if they're not going to check it again. They are going to check it, Billy. Don't panic. We have got there. How old are you? Says Rogan. I am 24, believe it or not. Which you might not believe because I probably look older. And rumour has it Kiwi Lad is wearing a fuss Speedo. I cannot confirm nor deny what is happening on my bottom half. We have got there. Williams is the fastest in the Springbok squad. Says Gerhard. Hamish is wearing a South African flag budgies. Says Ben there. And goes South Africa. He's wearing flip-flops and Fuff de Klerk's beanbag Speedo. Alright, it's going to be no try there. This will be only about maybe 5 to 10 metres out from the line again here for the South Africans. Joe Schmidt, he's under pressure. Yes, with Rekas, says at the net. And down, I bet $900 for South Africa to score 27 points. Do you think they will score more than that in the time remaining, says Andre? They should do. They've got a big chance here, only 5 metres out from the line. So if they don't, I think they'll be pretty disappointed. Show us your pants, says Hugo. And Amish brother, what's for dinner? I got braai here for breakfast. I'm not actually too sure what I'll end up having. I'd love to have some sort of, well, not braai, but just like New Zealand version of cook something in a fry pan. Not quite as impressive, is it? You're doing a great job. Appreciate your time, says Foolproof. And we are going to be back with the next game, which is just around the corner, which is going to be New Zealand versus Argentina. But the ball is fed in territory, 56% throughout this match at the moment. Quagga Smith breaking off the back. Well defended from the Australians. WFC score just hopped on. Says Xavier, 5 metres out. Williams goes back across to Vincent Koch. Tackled by Zane Ungor. Australia need to really dig deep here for their defence. They've conceded. Quagga Smith straight through and manages to score it. That is the 4th try of the match now. So I assume that should secure the bonus point now completely for the South Africans, unless Australia can score 2 tries in the next 17 minutes or so. Looks like South Africa are going to be sitting very nicely at the end of round number 1, keeping the bottom half for the exclusive channel. Says Caitlin. Show us the suit pants, says Uno Bear. Caitlin Mary Hamish, he the best, says Uno Bear. And come on, Aussie, says Amy. But great pass from Grant Williams. And Quagga just had all the forward momentum. It was mentioned how once he made his way onto the field, he would have a very good shot of making an impact. That was actually to do with the breakdown, though. Quagga should do USC and get the belt, says Annoy. He's already got the nose for it. He looks like he's been punched in the face 50 times. In the nicest way possible. I'm trying, bruh, says Caitlin. Now 28 points to 0. You should overlay your voice on a full highlights after the game, says Stefan. Yeah, although YouTube do still get very angry at that. You're not allowed to really show any footage, and if you do, it's normally illegal. So you can get yourself in quite a bit of trouble. Who are the try scorers so far for this match? So we've seen Peter Toy, we've seen Kudli Ardensa, we have seen the first try of the match to come for Sia Khaleesi. Got there in the end. And then the last try we just saw was Quagga Smith. Expect more for the box. The pants are as shocking as the Aussie defence. And also thanks for the great commentary. Busy with a big fishing competition in South Africa, says Lauren. So hopefully that is going well. Dude was born to come on in the second half and just do his thing, says Justin. Now going off to the left-hand side here. Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu. And again, South Africa are on attack on the halfway line now. Jesse Creel goes straight through, looking for the passing option. That was close to forward, but it's going to be Kudli Ardensa, who scores another one for the South Africans. They are running rampage at Suncorp Stadium. And this is not good for the Australians. Callers commentator. Where'd that go? That disappeared. Callers commentator while I'm in Joburg, says Wayne there. And tell me about it, high demand, says Caitlin there. And also, we got there, good work, Caitlin. He's a wild gazelle, hard to catch. And YouTube is very mean. They are a bit, but then also they don't want to get sued. So you can kind of understand it. Best looking man on YouTube. Meet Hamish. I wouldn't guarantee that at all, Mr. Kiwi, man. I forgot your name. Kiwi something. As a suit of tie completed with fluffy bunny slippers. Not quite, but it does make me chuckle because I have got socks on that don't have, I'm going to take a sock off. Bugger it, why not? I don't know why I've got these socks on, but I decided it would be a good idea. They got penguins on them. They're also see-through because it's green, but yeah, just some penguins on the socks rather than the bunny slippers. Now that is a good kick from Sasha Feinberg. Ngome Zulu. Or was it? Where'd that kick go? We have good there. Are you wearing a Springbok short with your suit? I don't, but no. Oh, good to know there's competition, says Caitlin there. Need to see Hamish a Springbok tie and perhaps a set of Blue Bulls balls, says Hi Ryan. But now, once again, the position here for the South Africans. It's just every time that Australia have the ball for a little bit, they just give it up. And then that is where South Africa have really strived. That is now going back onto their side again. Grant Williams goes across to Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu. He's been phenomenal throughout this game. Vili LaRue, skip pass, beautifully done. Waita Kudli Arinsa, he's already scored try. He might as well get his third. But 22 metres out from the line, only 15 minutes remaining, and South Africa seem like they've found their next level. Sasha Feinberg, Ungome Zulu with the cross kick. It doesn't sit up for Cheslin Colby. I'll love to see through socks. And he's watching your comments, ladies. Bless him, he's shy. But that means he's a keeper, says Uno Bear. And also, those socks are fire, says Aaron Smith there. But now, line out throw here for the Australians. 14 minutes remaining. They just want some form of points. How much time left? South Africa scored twice back-to-back. Missed that. They certainly did. Just all over the Australians for this matchup. Luke Raymer now. Debut for that man. Not exactly when you want to be making a debut, though, when you're 33-0 down. Kind of does hurt you quite a bit. And I don't think he's going to be able to turn it around to get the win for the Australians. Hamish has a huge female fan base. Me, Caitlin, and Chloe. That's about as far as it extends. Yes, well, I think we got a couple extra maybe. Do you play rugby currently? I don't. I used to way back in my day, but then I retired. Thanks for the commentary, says Adele. No worries at all. Line out throw here for the Australians. 10 metres out from their line. Nicely taken by Nick Frost. Landed awkwardly. McDermott gives it off to Rob Valentini, who's been hit in the head by Malcolm Marks. They might want to check the height of that one. And me, says Samantha in there as well. Now kick downfield on the halfway line. Well handled by Cheslin Colby. Gives it back across to Vili LaRue. Marco fun start and runs it straight at Wilson. He's had a busy day making tackles throughout this contest. Now Malcolm Marks again. Hamish is a Sharks fan, says Uno B. I cannot confirm nor deny that information. Well, I can probably just deny it, actually. The Boks are just outclassing the Aussies today. And more tries for the Boks starts to come now, says a babe. Shot on Williams. Already. Oh, he's played that ball from the ground there, Vincent Koch. And first time in 11 the commentary, you should be on the radio, says Mahajid. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. You made us win. Thanks for your commentary, says Lizelle. Yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back for all the games of the Rugby Championship, including the next game that has taken place between New Zealand and Argentina. But for now, we've got 12 minutes remaining in this matchup. Grant Williams into the pocket. Why are they going for a drop kick now? This just seems disrespectful. Curtly, or in fact, it was Cheslin Colby. He's missed it there. Crowd not liking that. I think I even hear some South Africans booing that one. But, oh, okay, they're going to check this one. This is 16 green Malcolm Marks one that we did see earlier on, but I don't know. Was that the right decision from South Africa, or could they have just thrown it out wide and scored another try like they have throughout the rest of the game? This guy has to be a professional commentator, says Immortal. Did you see my socks before? I feel like that should answer the question. Is a touchdown 5 points of rugby? A try is 5, yes. Stop getting personal with Hamish. Pick a sock. Put a sock in it, please. Was that a pun? Because it was a great one, Bruce. But now potential foul play. Head on head between Malcolm Marks and Rob Valentini. Oh, shoulder on head, sorry. You feel like Colby kicked that because he's seen the state Frost was in? Says Warren. Probably not. I think it was more so just the fact that they were like, we'll try this now, seeing as, you know, we might have to try it in another game. And the future only advantage the Aussies fans have, that at least they didn't have to get up early to watch. Yeah, that's a really hard shot on Rob Valentini's chin. And, I mean, the man has got a chin. That is not going to be denied. But his head was ducking. Like, I would say yellow at worst for Malcolm Marks. Yeah, I would be very disappointed if it was anything more than that. But it is going to be on report now, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the commentary. South Africa seem to win with your presence, says Ben. And chin is part of the head, says Akaya then. Thanks for the commentary, mate. All the best. Kiwi lads against the Pumas, says Mark. And yeah, that game just around this corner. And in this game, South Africa, says Heart of Africa. Malcolm Marks, the yellow card has been received. He will be off the field for the next 10 minutes. Remember, 0:49. We live in a golden age, says Cabas LaRue there. Now, this will be a little bit concerning because if this is somehow upgraded to a red card, that would mean Malcolm Marx possibly won't be available for the next game up against Australia or the game up against New Zealand. That first one anyway. So that is the last thing that the South Africans will be wanting. Wallabies, we watch rugby the afternoon here, not 6:30 a.m. Then you still lose. Says Mother City. Now, with a man advantage, can Australia start to find some sort of attacking momentum? Looks like Andrew Callaway's trying to play halfback, and in fact it is McDermott who was there. We had on them hard, who scored after Smith. Says Lazuko. I think it was Kurtley Arden's second for the next try after Kwaka Smith. And that's going to be another penalty now in favour of the Australians. Tate McDermott takes it quickly, goes to the left-hand side off to Harry Wilson. Two Reds players linking up here. Now getting himself another penalty advantage, milking that one till the cows come home for Tate McDermott. Tack and run from replacement 16, Josh Nasser. Knock on from Zane Ungor, but they will go back for the original penalty to the South Africans again. We have got there, thank you, Hamish, bringing the live commentary to us. Springboks have crossed the chalk often today. Says Mark. If you can't beat them, give them a yellow. Says Kyle Hansen. I mean, against boys as a Kiwi, this is embarrassing, crikey. Says Obi and go the Bok. Into the chat as well. But 11 minutes remaining. So while we have only got just over the 10 minutes remaining, ladies and gents, do let me know your full-time score prediction. Are we going to see it 33-0 at the end of this game? Or are we going to see maybe Australia score? Maybe South Africa get themselves one back? Just happy to see some consistency in the box. Not just waiting for the big games to push for wins. And AI Malcolm, I'm so proud to be a South African, says Louisa there. Now line out throw for the Australians. They are yet to score a try in this matchup, but perhaps now is the time that they can turn it around. I would like to invite you to Hong Kong to get a tailored suit made by a legendary Sam Taylor. Says, was there from the Big V8 show? Maybe one day I'll head to Hong Kong. Oh, look at that. Who's this twat commentating? Stick to knitting, mate. Bah, ole, 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 ole. From Michael. I'm Hamish. Welcome in, Michael. Hope you are doing well. We're going to be here for all the Rugby Championship, but I doubt you will be. So, I guess bye. See you later. You can stick around, though, if you really want to. You might enjoy something some stage. 47 is the end prediction from Marthinus. 33-7, 43, 45-5. Box by 40, 40-3. Draw. I don't know if we're getting a draw from here. We're 9 minutes left. Paul Malcolm Marx. He's had a hard few years. And now, beautifully stolen by a good hard Stennekamp. Are you familiar with Sam Taylor? I believe so. I think he's the one who he talks about, he says certain things, doesn't he, for his YouTube shorts. And Kiwi 0, South Africa 41. Now, ball's gone out. Another line-out throw here for the South Africans. Looks like Bongi Manambi warming back up just in case he has to make his way back onto the field. It was never really mentioned why he made his way off the field originally. Like, Malcolm Marx came on at around 28 minutes, so we thought it might have been an HIA, but it just wasn't the case. Great commentary, Hamish. Cheers, mate. From a wet Cape Town, I should say. Love your tie, brother. Have one just like it. Says Alan there. Some good taste from yourself, Alan. Let me know when the tickets are booked. Says the Big V8 show. Another penalty goes the way of Australia. Oh, it's another yellow card. So now 15 on 13. There's a chance that Australia still don't score themselves a try. They just haven't been able to put together that last pass. Normally a knock-on or something along those lines have been costing them. Wasn't stolen. Chislin was thrown in. Says Dylan. Yeah, that will make sense. I was wondering where the Australians were. Now 8 minutes remaining in this contest. Tom Linar makes his way onto the field for Australia. I have to say Noah Lolesio just not quite having his best game. I'd be Oh, okay, it's remaining a yellow card for Malcolm Marx. And why the yellow? Repeat infringements inside of their 22. So Marco van Staden off the field. That one's going to be taken by Australia. And they are now in possession. Oh, big shot coming in from Cheslin Colby. Just puts his body on the line any opportunity that he has. Lukan Salakai Lotto, that is going to be dropped again. They get in yellow card, says Ben. Australia can't score against 13, then they deserve an egg, says Justin. Yeah, 13 men on the field here for the South Africans. Yellow for what? So it was repeat infringements from the South Africans. Malcolm needs game time. Yeah, although He got a bit more in this game, to be fair. He got his... Oh, I said to be fair. It's been a while since we said it, though. But he had, I'd say, 30, 40 minutes throughout this game. Malcolm Marx got yellow. He did indeed. And also Marco van Staden. But great performance from this young man. Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu, making his way from the field. A brilliant test match for that man. His starting debut, and you wouldn't have thought it. You would have thought he had 50 games under his belt. And we have got the Australia still building, and South Africa still using the squad from the World Cup. Was expecting a South Africa win, but not this much, says Michael. Go South Africa, says Johan. I vote for a new Tri-Nation. South Africa, Ireland, New Zealand, says Cabus there. Okay, Luke Pearce getting frustrated with bit of back chat from both front rows. South Africa need to keep focused. Says Makobo there. I love the face you read the comments, bro. I love the fact you read the comments, bro, says Wayne. I do try my best to read as many messages as I can. There will be some that we miss, of course, but that is only because we've got 3,500 people in attendance for this match. So, of course, it does make it relatively tricky to get them all. Who is the ref? It is Luke Pearce who's in charge of this one. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are just over 51,000, so let's see how far we can go before the end of the stream. We've got New Zealand versus Argentina just around the corner as well, but Australia have retained their scrum. Now going off to the right-hand side, Dylan Peach dropped the ball again. It's really, really bad from the Australians, unfortunately. Like, normally, number one rule is hang on to the ball, and they haven't been able to do that throughout this contest. Your commentary is great. Your R's are beautiful. Now try to say South Africa GG. Says Retha Mdatoy. Why they're second yellow for repeat infringements. South Africa were penalised multiple times. So then Marco van Staden, the man who drew the short straw, and ended up getting in trouble. Will Sky Sports show the next game? They certainly will be. Here in New Zealand, 3.5k viewers, but not the 500 likes. And can we have the comment of the day? It must be, to be fair. A sterling job with the match commentary here. Hamish says, watch it go. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciate it. Now 5 minutes left in this contest. A lot of green and gold in the stands, mainly going for the South Africans. Leka commentary, bro. The way you pronounce the Springbok names is Leka. Go the box, says Cape Town Inc. Thank you very much, mate. And that one's gone down again. It's going to be a free kick in favour of the Australians. Stop reading the comments, please commentate the game. Well, we had a stoppage. It was the scrum getting set, so that's why we were reading the chat. Rob Valentini now off the quick tap for the Australians. They're only 2 metres out from the try line here. Around the side, that was close for the Aussies. Can they cross the try line for the first time in this contest? They are short at the moment. Just about to go around the side. That has somehow stopped again. Brilliant goal line defence from the Springboks. Passed out wide. Tom Wright passes to Paisami. And it's going to be the try now for Australia. Their first, at least it's not the zero. But a lot of work to do before the second matchup as well. Bullet together. Yeah, should be a guest on the show, says Uno Beer. And ODNA just RSA, says Makosi there. And you're the man, love the commentary and your interaction with the viewers. The other character needs a PK. Ask a South African what that is. Says the breakdown. A nice pass out wide, Hunter by Sami off the 5 metre tap for the Australians. It was bound to happen at some point, but it did seem debatable whether or not it actually would for this matchup. Then Andre Pollard having a retreat across, try and make that tackle, but by Sami, the man who gets the try. South Africa now back, still in the lead, but not quite by as big of a margin. Needs 2 more to cancel the bonus point, exactly right, and they've only got 3 minutes to be able to do it. Tom Liner lines up the kick, and he has got that one over. 7 points to 33 now for the South Africans. If the Wallabies are not interested in rugby anymore, they must just say it. And also, how many South Africans live in Aussie? Seems like heaps. Yeah, they've had a really good showing throughout this contest. Can we reach 500 likes, says Birdie V. Anyone who hasn't already, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. 3 minutes left in this contest. Then in 10 minutes' time, we are transferring over to our next live stream, which will be All Blacks versus Pumas. Andre Pollard kicking this one off. Oh, it's gone dead from Andre Pollard. it's not going to be helping the argument of whether or not he should be in the starting side. I think after this game, though, Sasha Feinberg, Ngomazulu has just got that number 10 jersey on lock. Scoring your first try with less than 5 minutes to play against 13 men's is not an achievement. Your Forever Sports need a collab. Says a Matthew there, and those yellow cards killed us. They shouldn't have scored. Says Makobo there. And imagine Hamish running to the bathroom after all that water for the next game. Or imagining it. Probably will happen. I think I'm going to be running to the kitchen as well and trying to have some sort of food before that next stream. I'm going to have to scoff down. I don't even know what I got in that kitchen. Bread. Have a piece of toast. I don't even think I've got time to cook toast. That is how squeezed in these live streams are going to be. But we'll have something, hopefully, in between the streams. Oh, okay. Ngomazulu is on and Umbanambi is off now. Seeing as Malcolm Marks has made his way back on. To be fair, you'd have a 7 in your prediction. Yeah, although not quite this margin. What was it? Chicken sandwich. Says Caitlin. Now you're speaking my language. 4 minutes remaining of Marco van Staden's yellow card. Marco has said, we hate you. That's not very nice, Marco. Give yourself an uppercut. Now, Tate McDermott going to be putting this ball in for the scrum. Now, deliberate knockdown, unfortunately for Jesse Krill. He's saying that he went for it with his second hand, but he couldn't quite get it there. Surely this isn't a third. Oh, it is a third yellow card. Jesse Krill will be taken off the field now for the last 1.5 minutes of this game. Great commentary, much appreciated, says Mark. That's sauce on the bread, my bro. Now we are good there. And you call us all losers, Lewis Smith. And no DNA, just RSA. And why is Sky Sport not showing this game? They are here in New Zealand. It's on Sky Sport Select here in New Zealand. Bad day at the office, Australia. Very bad day. Worst nightmare of a contest for the Aussies. It's so bad from the box. Give Chloe a wink, Hamish. Chloe's not even here, is she? I know Caitlin is. I'm not sure about Chloe. Oh, that's a big shot coming in again from Cheslin Colby. Australia, though, looking to cut down on that deficit. That was the most polite way to tell someone to give themselves an uppercut, says Caitlin. I'll take McDermott. Goes off to Luke Reimer. On debut, gets back up and has another crack. Hey, you need catering, Hamish? I do. I really do. Now over the top, White, our pass goes to Harry Wilson. Grant Williams manages to make the low tackle. Bockhurst ref for some cheese, says Beds of Lace. A little bit of a juggle from Zane Ungor. Sounds like a undecided ref, says James. And that is going to be another knock on. Villy LaRue now inside of the 22 for the South Africans. 18 seconds remaining in this one. On the halfway line, Tom Wright selling as if he was going to be having a kick. He's been nailed in the tackle by Kwaka Smith. And another penalty to South Africa. Message received, I'll back off, says Caitlin. Of course I'm here, Hamish, says Chloe. And no DNA, just RSA. Now, do they want to go for one last try, South Africa? Or do they take the tap and kick the ball out? I think they're going to try and increase that points differential. They might as well. Okay, sounds like they are going to have one more. You need to eat some bunny chow, Lewis. You're overrated, says Basil's there. And the next game in Australia probably won't sell out after the shocking performance. I think there'll be plenty of South Africans, though. Oh, they haven't found touch with it. Now Australia looking to attack from inside of their 22. This seems extremely risky because this pretty much gives the South Africans what they want, which is one last chance at being able to score. But wide cut out pass there, taken nicely by Hunter Paisami near the touchline. Ball is still available. Well picked up from Lena Katau. No DNA, just RSA. I read that one like 15 times, haven't I? How does South Africa get so many yellows and the Aussies don't get any when they're in the red zone? Says Gabriel. Oh, that's a knock-on from Raymond, a double knock-on, in fact. So that will be the end of this game. 33 points to 7. A great performance from the South Africans as they start their rugby championship on a high in emphatic fashion. 33 to 7 the end score. But I do thank you all very much for being here for this live stream. Like I mentioned, we are going to be back for plenty more of the Rugby Championship. The next game that we are doing is New Zealand versus Argentina. That has taken place in a very short moment, only 5 minutes away from the start of this contest. But 5 points for the South Africans in this contest. They get the bonus point for being 3 or more ahead. And yeah, really strong performance. Overall, I just don't think Australia had too much of a shot from start to finish. Love you, says Marco. That's changed a lot from about a minute ago, Marco. And hi, Lionel. I'm from Wellington, Cape Town. And also I had a response for for the good of world rugby, says Hanoi there. And thanks for the excellent commentary, Hamish. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, the next live stream taking place in only 4 minutes' time. That will be the matchup between New Zealand and Argentina. So we will see you all in a very short moment.